Welcome back, guys. I'm super excited today because somebody that I've seen on social media for a while, and we have a lot of common friends. I finally got her to come on the podcast. A very interesting story. She's a huge social media influencer and one of the biggest OnlyFans creators on the entire planet. Please welcome Swedish Bella, Miss Monica Huldt. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I know we've kind of talked a lot, and now we're here.
Yeah. The first time I saw your friends was CJ Sparks, she's my sister, like my best friend.
She's super sweet. Yeah, I know her. And we talked back and forth, and it's always been like the pandemic or whatever and stuff like that. So yeah,
I prefer to have people in studio, but like a lot of times, like I'm having Ty Lopez come on and via Zoom, but like it's better when you guys. It's one of the great things about doing a podcast in Las Vegas is that everyone's going to come here at least once a year.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
It's terrific. And then like you see how easy it is to park here in LA, man. It's just anytime you do a podcast, it's just a fucking nightmare, man.
I know. And this studio is so nice.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
You do come back if you ever want to do an episode. Definitely come back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
All right. So where did you grow up? Were you born originally in Sweden?
No, I was born in Poland.
Okay.
So I was born in Poland. I'm 38, so in the 80s, during communism.
Okay.
It was interesting.
So can you talk about that? What was that like?
Yeah, sure. Well, for people who don't know, Poland has been communist for long. Well,
since 40. I'm sorry, the Warsaw Pact was in
42.
1942.
The war ended 42. So
the war ended 45. I think
45.
Hitler invades Poland in 1940, 41, somewhere around there. Yeah,
exactly. It's been socialist. So the Socialist Working Party has always been the ruling party.
Yeah.
Up until now, we have a super conservative president now. But what I remember was not having stuff.
Yeah.
Simple stuff like bananas didn't exist. We have to stand in line for bread. Meat was nothing that, I was lucky because I had family that had farms and stuff like that. So, we would get food from there, but buy it in the store, literally lines. And everything was rationed.
Yeah.
So you basically had a little coupon and you could go and pick up your ration of whatever it is that you needed.
I believe Poland left the Soviet Union first, right? Before the fall of the wall in 91.
Yes.
So do you remember that? Do you remember Poland, the revolution happening?
I actually left in 90.
Okay.
We left 89.
Okay.
So it was before them, but I went back. So I do remember it. I do remember when Poland switched money from not having thousands of zeros to less zeros.
Inflation,
yeah. So... but I do remember it, and it was, I don't remember us being poor, but we were poor.
Right.
Obviously. It's just my mom never let it, shine through. My mom is a doctor, so she managed to get us nice stuff, even though, she treated people for free and they would give her like food and stuff like that. So I didn't really miss anything from what I remember, but now when I think back about it, there was a lot of stuff we didn't have, like a lot.
It's really interesting. My mother immigrated from Colombia and telling me 1972, I think she came over, and she was telling me stories and like the things that she takes for. My mother is exceptionally successful now. She was an RN for 44 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
And when she talks about the things that she had to deal with growing up, milking cows and all this kind of stuff, like levels of poverty that we can't even just walk into school with no shoes or in the mud. You just don't even imagine that. So was your family just able to leave the Soviet Union or?
No, so we were actually. My mom met my stepdad in Sweden. So the problem is we were poor. We actually lived with my grandma and grandpa, and we because we just didn't have the money to live by ourselves because my mom was divorced and she was the only one working, and the salary was.
I guess what I'm asking is being able to move across the border back then.
Oh yeah, no, it was easy.
Okay.
There was never any issues like that, but yeah, we left Poland in 89.
Okay.
Yeah, because my mom met my stepdad in Sweden.
Okay.
So that's why we moved. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So you're from there, and then you moved to Sweden.
Yes.
It's Malmo.
Malmo. Yeah.
Malmo, Sweden. Where is that?
In the south.
Okay.
Yeah. down in the south. It's about 20 minutes from Denmark.
Okay.
We have the bridge over, so we can drive over. It's 20 minutes.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Swedish, Polish, English, and German.
You speak German?
Some German, yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
When I go to Germany and I hear it, I actually get back into it. It's just when you don't use the language, it's, you know.
Do you ever visit Geneva?
Yes, I've been to Geneva, actually. Yeah,
I've
really
still
nice.
never been over there.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of people don't understand Vienna, Geneva, or sorry, Vienna, it's Austria.
Austria, yeah.
What's the other city in Geneva, or in Switzerland? It's Geneva and I can't remember right now. The other large city there, but they like one city speaks German and the other speaks mostly French.
Yes.
And it's interesting.
And Italian.
Yeah, it's interesting because the way the you know in the United States we have Mexico and Canada they speak English, and so we don't really see that where you have so many people speaking different languages so close to one another, and then you have countries like Denmark, Finland, Sweden, where you they're so multicultural.
Oh yeah,
right?
and I understand. Well, I don't understand Finnish because Finnish is totally different from everything else, but. I mean, I understand Norwegian, Danish, Icelandic. Well, I don't understand Icelandic, pure Icelandic, but they speak Swedish as well. So,
very nice.
And Swedes travel all over.
Yes,
so that's
very nice. Okay, so you move there, and then you go to high school in Sweden.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I moved to Sweden, I actually started in daycare because I was so little, and I had to learn Swedish, which was very hard. I was picked on a lot. Because I was the only one from somewhere else.
So Polish and Swedish don't sound anything alike?
Nothing.
Polish, does it sound anything like Russian?
Yes, a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so I understand Czech and Serbian. I understand some Russian because the words are kind of the same. So when I go to Russia, I kind of understand what they're talking about, but I can't speak Russian.
The reason why I bring this up is because, you know, we most people here grow up in a homogenous society. If you grow up in Texas, everyone speaks English, and some people speak Spanish. Yes. You grew up in Alabama. Your whole life, you were just around people who speak English, and you were exposed to people who spoke 7, 8, 9 different languages. And like I can understand some Portuguese because I know some Spanish, right? But when you're talking about some of these languages, like Finnish, is nothing like Swedish, and so it's very, very different for you to understand some of these languages.
Well, the Finnish people do learn Swedish, or they used to in school, and the other way around. So
and people in Germany learn English, from what I understand.
Everybody in Europe learns English in school. It's your secondary language,
right?
Because we travel so much, so everybody, that's a must. But Finnish. The older generation in Sweden do speak some Finnish because they learned it in school. Yeah. So.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So you get out of high school. So what? I don't know. I know in Europe it's very different. Your high school experience is different from ours. So if you watch 90210, right, we have different class grades, and there's a football team, and everybody goes for the cheer squad, and we have cheerleaders, and there's the popular guys and the stoners. Is it like this in Europe back then? Because I know you guys you don't have American football, right? But you guys probably have a soccer team in your high school.
No.
There's no. So those are private. Those aren't even part of your primary education.
No. So in Sweden, it's very different because we're not graded based on age or payment or whatever. So school in Sweden is free.
Yeah.
Or it's not free because taxes pay for it.
Right.
But we don't pay for it. So you get in based on your grades. So you got to work your ass off.
In high school?
Yeah. I mean, so...
Do they place you in high school?
Well, high school, you mean 7th to 9th grade, right?
No, we're talking, it would be 9th to 12th.
Okay, so it's a little bit different because in Sweden we have 1st to 6th grade, and then you go to 7th to 9th grade.
Yeah, we call it middle school,
Yeah, middle school, and then you go to not to college, but to high school.
Okay.
But to get into high school, you actually have to have really good grades from middle school.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Your grade on that.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, so you start your grades when you're in 7th grade and up to 9th grade. And based on that, it depends. You apply for high school. And whatever you pick... it will be based on your grades.
That's crazy. Okay, so we don't really do that here. We have the public school system. We have magnet schools in some places where you can go to the arts magnet or the communications magnet or whatever. But everyone here, like, you just kind of go to high school or whatever.
Yeah, no, you have to apply. And it depends on what you want to do, economics or biology or whatever.
That's crazy.
You apply for whatever you want to learn. and then hopefully you get in. So you have to pick like at least 3 or 4 different ones. So if you don't get in your first choice, maybe second or third, and then you can actually switch it after a year if you want to reapply. But that makes you stay in high school a year longer.
So now now you do that and you go to college around 18, 19?
Yes.
And then you get a degree in teaching.
Yes, I have a bachelor's in
teaching. It's a 4-year degree? Is that how it works
Well,
there?
I went to school for 5.
For 5, okay.
Yeah, because I did a year of some different stuff. Like I did practical philosophy and some history and stuff like that. So I kind of did like some sites projects. So it was 5 years altogether.
This is what I love doing on the show, right? I mean, I'm sure there are some people who are fans of yours, only either seen you on OF, or they've seen you on Instagram, and then this level of depth. Because I checked, you don't talk about this anywhere else.
No.
And to me, I like the 3-dimensionality of it, right? To some people, they might be turned off by it, but that's your problem because you're living in a fantasy world, right?
Exactly.
But I love this that you get to see a difference because it's always so interesting to me that whenever I hear about everyone's upbringing, because everybody comes from some place and gets over something, right? So now you're getting a teaching degree. Now this is the part where it's gets kind of exciting. You get a degree, you get a job as a teacher.
Yes.
Okay. Now how does this work? Is it just like public assignment, or you go apply at a different place?
So when I went to the university, because I did half in Malmö and half in Lund, because I did the religion history in Malmö and the history, the European history part in Lund. But it's a little bit different because you have to have certain points where you do practical. You're actually teaching at a school. So I would say half of your experience at the university, half of it you're out teaching as a teacher, and the teacher that is assigned to you grades you on your performance.
Okay.
And after that, after everything is done, you have to write your essays and everything, hand them in, and then you go out in the workforce, and you can't really be a teacher 100% straight away because for 6 months it's a trial period where you have to get your license. Okay. So you actually teach for 6 months, and you have a substitute teacher that goes with you, or a teacher that the school picked for you, and he will grade you on it and be like, okay, you get your license, or no, you have to do another 6 months. Yeah. So you actually have to have a license to teach.
Yeah. No, we do that here too. It's a similar kind of thing. But I think you can get a teaching certificate after your bachelor's, or you can get a bachelor's in teaching. Okay, no,
you have to work for, I think it is 6 months.
Okay. So now, from that standpoint, this is where people are going to be very interested. You started dancing while you were a teacher. Yeah. Okay, now how does that work? Because we had Nar Ford in here. She was a senior airman over at Nellis Air Force Base. She was working in personnel, and then her friend told her she went to the Rhino and made $2,000, like $2,000, right, the first night. And so what led you into doing this?
Well, it's a long story, but I was not feeling well psychologically. I had a lot of issues. I was in a bad relationship. Okay. Had a lot of issues with my mom, my upbringing, whatever. So I was kind of a shopaholic, where I had a addiction to shop. Yes. Some people do drugs, some people sex.
Some people go to the gym, but you were just shopping. Got it.
I was just shopping, and the credit card pile grew. So I was like, my teacher's salary will not cover this. Yeah. So I started dancing. Yeah.
Okay. And then how far away is where you're dancing from, like, the high school you're teaching at?
45 minutes.
45 minutes? Yeah. And the rules are different there, right? In Sweden, the rules are different than they are right here in the United States.
Well, I danced in Copenhagen.
In Copenhagen,
because in Sweden, we don't really have...
Strip clubs?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we do have Gothenburg and Stockholm, but I was in Malmö. Underground strip clubs, but you don't want to...
So Denmark is just closer?
Yeah, Denmark is only 20 minutes away. Okay. And Denmark, prostitution is legal, for example. You just have to have a license to have a brothel, or a license to have a strip club. You can't have both in one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all the strip club has licenses, all the brothels have licenses.
Okay, so just you going out on your own, hypothetically, you can't just do it on your own. No. You have to be at a licensed brothel in order to do that. Yeah. Got it.
Or have a license.
Got it.
But I was dancing at a champagne club, which means it's not a strip club per se. It's more a companionship room where sex was not allowed because they didn't have a license, and the police will come and check.
Right. So these are like karaoke rooms in Guam or in Japan or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, so we would have to have long nightgowns, like sexy dresses, and we were selling bottles. And if you bought a bottle, you get a VIP room, whatever. But you would have a person standing outside watching you. So you didn't and they have cameras.
Wow.
So they were very strict because they would get shut down.
Yeah.
If the police came in, and they did come in a couple of times.
Were there girls that did both, that would go strip and then do prostitution stuff?
Yeah. I mean, there were girls that would dance and then in the morning they go home with clients.
Okay.
But they had a license for both.
Wow.
So.
This is like,
were just like
I mean, just from the rigid puritanical way we do things in the United States.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is prostitution here, but for the most part, it's illegal. And then just when you hear about places where it's completely legal like that, it's just kind of interesting.
It's just safer.
Yeah.
It's just safer for the girls in general. And if something happens, they actually can call the police and be like, hey, this person, this client did this and that. Here you can't. Because you're already doing something illegal, and
It is an issue here especially in Las Vegas. And I've talked about this a lot. Where if someone is a sex worker and they report a sexual assault, they just do not get taken seriously.
Yeah, no.
And I don't care what the cops or Vice wants to say about this. It is a fact. I've seen it several times before where a girl is known that she's an escort and she gets sexually assaulted, and the police will like, yeah, you're an escort, because they think.
I mean, you're still a human being.
Yeah, but they think if they take this to court, that they're like somehow the jury is not going to see it that way. And I feel like the Overton window on prostitution has shifted so much, just like the one on gay marriage or the one on smoking marijuana. The Overton window in 1950 was very different. Nobody, like, if you were a political candidate trying to espouse gay marriage in 1982, you'd get laughed off the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you're against it, you would get laughed off the stage, right? So it's the same kind of situation where we see, I don't know if you saw last week, the discussion about making marijuana federally legal.
Yes, I actually read that.
Yeah, we're moving in that direction. So, like, I just think that the idea that, I've seen this over and over again, where the police just don't take it seriously.
No, they don't.
Even a stripper at the Rhino, when she complains about stuff like this, they just don't seem to take it.
I know in Arizona, since I live in Arizona, it's actually legal with a license.
What?
A prostitution.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
This is news to me. I didn't know that.
And how I know is because one of my friends, she's been working for a long period of time, and she actually got busted once for not having a license.
Okay. That's crazy.
But she got busted for not having a license because they asked her, can I see your card? And she was like, I don't have one. And she didn't know she was talking to a cop.
So in the county where Scottsdale is, I forgot the name of the county there.
Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maricopa County. Yeah. That's right. There's prostitution is legal with a
well, I mean, that's what she said to me. Yeah. I don't know because I'm not an escort, but from what I understand, that's how she explained it to me. So I guess if you have a license of some sort, I mean, it's like having a license here.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about that here, because there's a lot of confusion about that. You cannot, prostitution is going to blow some people's minds already. Prostitution is not legal in Clark County. It's not. Absolutely. I don't care what happened to you one time when you came here for your bachelor party in the champagne room and the fucking celebrity suite at the Rhino. Prostitution is not legal in Clark County. Outside of Clark County, we have the Bunny Ranch. We have different places like that where it is legal in the state of Nevada. It is not legal in Clark County. And so a lot people come here legitimately think, I can drink and drive. I can have open containers in my car. I can walk around in public with glass containers full of They think that this is legal. It's completely not legal, and that prostitution is legal.
I think people don't understand that the difference in counties.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a different county.
Yeah.
So and it was the same thing with masks. But you're in a different county. That's the problem. Yeah. So, but I know it's not legal, but that's what she told me, and I don't know which county that would,
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to look that up about prostitution in Arizona. I did not know that. All right. So now you are in this situation where you started dancing, and then how did your teaching institution find out that you were dancing?
Probably somebody
went to go visit
a dad or something. I don't know. It might have been. I didn't talk about it, obviously. I'm a teacher. I can't discuss certain things with, and I would never do it. I'm not that type of person. I'm kind of shy when it comes to talking about like.
Yeah.
But I would assume somebody saw me.
Okay, so you still don't know.
I still don't know. I'm kind of hoping a little bit. It was a dad that told somebody.
And it's fine as long as he's subscribed to your OF now. Then it's fine. Then it's totally fine.
I mean, I had.
Students. Please.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Ready? Here we go. Here's the TikTok clip. You're telling me you had students when you were a teacher that are subscribed to your OnlyFans now?
Yes, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes,
Wait,
sir.
tell me about this. How did you figure that out?
They wrote to me.
Oh my
He
God.
used to be my teacher.
So how old were they? They were like 13, 14 when you were teaching them, and now they're subscribed to your
18,
OnlyFans. Yeah. This is like some kind of insane. This is like the fucking description on like a porn on fucking browsers. Are you kidding me? This is incredible.
I had, and this was just a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw, like when I went into my inbox, I was like,
wait, they're using the real name?
No, he wrote to me.
Oh, he wrote you. Hey, gentlemen, if you're going to get an OnlyFans account, stop using. I can't believe how many people are using their real name. Andy Candy straight up told me the other day that her brother's best friend is following her on OnlyFans. I'm like, how do you know that? She's like, she's using her real. Gentlemen, why are you using your real name for your OnlyFans account? Go ahead.
I actually have semi-celebrities that use their name and their photo.
What? On OnlyFans? Jesus. Now,
their fucking photo.
Now let me ask you something, because obviously this didn't happen with you, but like, have you seen a lot of girls? I've seen girls start dating clients on OnlyFans. I have a friend of mine right now. She's a huge model. I'll blink her name out. It's a in Atlanta. And she started dating a poker player that she met. They started messaging back and forth, and they're boyfriend and girlfriend now. It's not the only time I've seen it. I've actually seen a couple of girls where they'll have a client who tips them a bunch, and then they meet up in person, and then they start dating.
I mean, I have friends that are escorts that are married to their client.
Wow.
Yeah.
That they met on OnlyFans.
No.
Or seeking arrangement or something like that.
No, just like through Eros.
Eros,
and
okay.
They would be back and forth, like seeing each other, and then,
Let's reset for everybody. OnlyFans, you'd be providing content that you film,
only,
right?
Yes.
And you can go back and forth.
Yeah.
Eros is pseudo like escort. Like
it's escorts only.
Yeah, it's escorts only. It's a Eros, I think that's how it's. Yeah. So Eros is one, and then seeking arrangement is like kind of halfway in between.
It's a sugar daddy dating.
Yeah, it's a sugar. And there's another one like sugar daddies for me. It's funny. Seeking arrangement was literally created for girls to pay for their college tuition. I don't know if you go back and look at the origin of it, like.
I actually did talk to the owner.
Yeah.
Once.
He lives here. I think he's here all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, he hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah.
To do some promo stuff and whatever, and I was like, I can't do that because I have a big verified account, and you know how Instagram is. They'll be like, prostitution.
Yeah.
You're banned.
Have you had this issue? I've seen girls, they'll DM someone and they'll be like, so they'll DM some for legit work, modeling work. But because the algorithm that Instagram has, they go through your DMs and it looks like to them solicitation, so they suspend your account. You've seen this happen before?
It probably. I mean, I've lost my account 6 or 7 times.
So right now you have 2.6 million followers?
2.4.
2.4 million followers, and you've lost your account how many times?
5 times.
Okay, so this is another thing. So we're hosting a bikini competition this summer, and you heard me just talking to my boss, Leanne, about that. And the thing about it is we have a social media part of it. And I was explaining to Leanne, I was like, just so you know, a lot of the girls in our competition are going to lose their accounts at different points this summer. It's completely draconian. It's random. You can't tell when anything's going to happen.
And you don't know why.
You don't. They really, again, I told you guys before, my account was suspended for impersonating Michael Sartain. I was
impersonating yourself.
I was impersonating myself, and so my account was suspended.
You're just too hot to not impersonate yourself.
But here's the funny thing, right? So if I wasn't impersonating myself, doesn't that verify that that's me?
Yeah,
But I didn't get a blue check mark for it, even though people were literally using my likeness to try to get girls to come to different photo shoots.
Have a blue check
mark.
But
my point is that's my point. Like, the verification was really not supposed to be a status symbol. It was supposed to be a security feature,
yes,
right?
And
there's
rightfully so.
There's been 7 different accounts of me on that. One of them was like Mikey Fierro. Like, they kept using my images, and they kept trying to lure girls to go to different photo shoots. You understand how fucking dangerous that is?
It's super. And girls that are new will jump on this.
Yes. Yeah.
Without even going to your real account and be like, hey, Michael, screenshot it. Is this you?
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, you're easy to find.
And I'm blocked from them, so I can never see these fake accounts, right?
Yeah,
The
but,
first thing they do
if
is block
somebody
me.
sends you a message, or they can go through CJ or whoever, like, hey, do you know, is this for real?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy.
Yeah, it's crazy because what it is like, and this is the problem. We had CJ on here too, and obviously you're published, so this is not an issue for you. But a lot of people pay for verification, right?
Yeah, but it's super dangerous because when they find out, you're busted.
So this has happened too. I didn't know about this. You're telling me people have paid for verification on Instagram, and then when IG finds out, they take away their account?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it's illegal.
Of course.
So basically what you pay is somebody under the table at Instagram to give you a verification.
So my understanding was you're like paying a PR company to get a bunch of articles written about you.
That is allowed.
That's allowed.
That's allowed, but you're not allowed to just pay somebody without press or having any form of, social media presence to give you a verification.
Yeah.
You're paying somebody under the table.
Yeah, I know a lot of people offer to pay to try to get verification.
We're talking 15 grand, 25 grand.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah,
it is scary.
It happens.
The thing that's happened to me recently is whenever I see a dude, just a regular dude, who's not on a TV show and he doesn't play point guard for an NBA team.
Yeah.
And he's got 100,000 followers and a blue check mark, and he's verified, and he sells Forex, and he has like a rented Lambo, and I'm like,
no, he bought the verification.
Yeah,
or he bought a verified account.
Yeah, that could be it also.
You can do that at Swapped.
Yeah.
They're super expensive. I think they're like 30,000, 50,000, but if you have the money, I mean, if you feel like you want to spend 50 grand on a social media account,
I went to
God bless you.
I went to one conference where the guy was straight up. He was like, "Yeah, I'd pay for all my followers. It made me millions of dollars. Yes, I pay for all." And I just wonder like what Instagram's going to do to try to stop it, because it doesn't seem like they're doing much.
I mean, you can pay for promotion, which is not technically, it is against TOS.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to post anybody else on your account than yourself. That's the rules, and I think at one point my account got taken down for doing shoutouts for shoutouts or promo.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a verified account.
Yeah.
And I tried to log in and it was just gone.
TOS, you're also supposed to not have backup accounts, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? It's like we're protecting ourselves against your ignorance. Of course we have backup accounts.
Yeah, of course, because you're fucking with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not explaining to us why. And again, I've beat a dead horse. Obviously, I've talked about this 10, 15 times on the show. Instagram is not where they are without beautiful blonde women with incredible bodies, doing thirst trap photos in a bikini.
Yeah.
So Instagram was fully aware and promoted that for years. And then around 2018, they're just like the band hammer on everybody.
I have no idea why.
Why? I mean, obviously, because they want Mercedes and McDonald's to come and be advertisers.
But they're not making the money. I mean, have you ever been on McDonald's IG?
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
But that's what scares them, right? Is that McDonald's has to pay so much for engagement, and you don't have to pay anything for engagement because...
Well, we do pay for engagement. I mean, I all my photos, all the photographers, everything. I mean, that's thousands and thousands.
Oh, no, I meant pay to Instagram. Engagement. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could buy promotions from Instagram, but 99% of the time they will deny my my request.
Yeah.
So,
I get suspended for advertising because of my memes. My memes are so terrible. I don't know.
Memes are lovely.
Yeah, but I get suspended constantly on Facebook and Instagram for my memes. It's pretty funny.
Lord.
I can't advertise on Instagram for another 31 days.
They need to grow a pair.
Right? Exactly.
Mark, stop.
So you get fired from your job teaching because they found out that you were dancing.
Yeah.
Okay, this is in Copenhagen.
Yes.
Okay. So now at that point, what is the transition? Because eventually you end up stripping in Memphis, which is kind of an odd choice for a city.
There's a long line of stuff that happened before that.
Okay.
I actually applied for different jobs. I actually worked in finance as well.
Okay.
So I applied for a job at a big company that it's kind of like Amazon but way smaller.
Okay.
And I was a not a business developer. I was a project manager there.
Okay.
So I worked for 2 years. Then the company lost a lot of money and they had to fire a lot of people. So I was one of them that got fired because I came in last.
Got it.
Then I worked as a project manager at an air traffic controller school.
Wow.
Yes. So I actually tried to land planes and stuff.
Did you? Yeah, I flew a KC-135.
Yeah, not land them, but on the screen.
Yeah, the simulator.
The simulator, yeah.
Well,
so I've done it. It was super fun.
Yeah.
So I worked there for a year, but it was only a year temp because it was a pregnancy leave. So she was back after a year. And then I started as a business developer at a company that produces oil, gas, electricity. So I worked at the I wouldn't say the part with the electricity. It was just trying to develop safe access to switch hubs. So I had a helmet on and a vest and everything.
I'm thinking of like some of your most hardcore fans right now.
Yeah.
Hearing all this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was a business developer and I did this and I worked at, I had a hard hat on, and it's just like, I love that. I love the fact that, there's some dimensionality to it. That's
it was 90% men.
Yeah. I can imagine.
It was super fun. I loved it.
I ask a lot of my guests there, did you have a glow up? Was there a plain Monica and then the big boobs and Blair? Okay, when did that happen?
Glow up happened 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
So were you working in Sweden at this point?
Well, I was working in Sweden by that time, and I decided I was with my ex for 11 years. We broke up. I was 19 when I met him, and we broke up after 11 years. And I moved by myself, and I was like, what do I do now? Like, how are you single? I haven't been single since I was 19, so. But I was like, I'm going to get a pair of boobs.
Okay.
So.
Did you, what country did you do that
Sweden.
in? Sweden. Mm-hmm. They have really good doctors there?
Yeah.
Okay, I can imagine. Okay.
Yeah, so I got my 700s, wasn't happy.
You started at 700?
Yeah.
And everyone, just so you know, ladies, if you're considering getting a boob job, get ready. You're just going to want another one, and it'll be bigger. I've never seen anybody say, "Oh man, I got these 700s. I want to go." I've never seen it. Mm-mm. You want to know something I've never seen it? So you were single when you got your boob job. And by the way, comment throw this in the comments if you know this has happened before. I can't think of one example, and I'm sure somebody's going to call me out on this, of a girl in a relationship gets a boob job, stays in the same relationship. You haven't seen it either.
Nope.
I have never seen it happen. And the reason why is because her reality, there's no analogy for men other than maybe becoming a billionaire or becoming a movie star. There's no analogy for men where it's not that the woman is more attractive because of her boob job. It's just a different segment of the male population is now so much more attentive because they're into that. And then so now it's not like you weren't attractive before. It's just like now you do that, and now there's this huge like big boob fetish group, and now they're completely into you. And then so like there's no correlation. So now you have a man and a woman in a marriage, and the man, his level of status is X, and then the woman, hers goes from X to X times 3, and then all of a sudden like there's a problem where it happens a lot where women will come out here on vacation with their boyfriend. They'll talk to one of the cocktail servers. They're like, how much do you make a year? And they're thinking it's like 120. It's like, oh, I make about 270,000 a year. And the girl's like, what? I make 270,000 as a bottle server. And then they look at the girl and they see like the BBL, fucking, and the lipo and the fucking boob job. And they're like, I want a 270. I would fucking, I'm as pretty as these girls. And then they move out, they get a boob job. They move out here and they're like, honey, I'm just going to come out here for a summer. And I'm going to work for the summer. And I know 12 girls who have done this, moved out here without their boyfriends and got a job at a pool, and I know 12 of them that got divorced. And it's just this weird thing where when the status changes so drastically, then all of a sudden this happens.
I think, and I've heard this from a lot of dudes, like for example, my good friend Thompson. Okay. He said, and he's sort of kind of single. Yeah. Just putting it out there. Yeah. For all the amazing women. Yeah. He said he would, for example, never date an OnlyFans girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys, I want you to think, for those of you who know who IamThompson is, he would never date an OnlyFans girl. Don't date at work,
He's actually very, very picky when it comes to girls.
That is
like he has very high, like...
My friend Lacey Jade told me the same thing about him.
He is very, very, like he does not fuck around or stuff like that. He's he does OF, yes. Yeah. So a lot of girls sees his Instagram and they're like, oh, he's a fuckboy. He is so far from
it. That's exactly what I heard.
So far from it. Yeah. Like he is not. So women.
He previously was in a relationship and had a very strict understanding of the relationship. Even though when you look at what he posts, it's like incredibly lascivious.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the issue is when a girl gets a glow up, the husband's like, oh shit.
So you think it's the jealousy that does it?
Well, with my ex, for example, like he was not really into me getting a glow up because he knew if I do that, I'll be fucking out of the door like this. Because he put on weight, you know, he wasn't really watching himself, you know, whatever. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wasn't for it. And I don't know if it's a jealousy thing, but it's hard for a man to do something so drastic.
Yeah, there's no way. Unless you win
a millionaire.
Unless you win an Academy Award, it is that's the equivalent of a woman getting a boob job. And I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's how it is for men. Like you'd have to do so much to equate what it is that the incredible amount of attention that a woman can get for having a lot of plastic surgery.
The only person that I can think of that wouldn't be intimidated, like ever, is Jack Black.
Jack Black.
You know because he's not a cute guy.
You talking about the actor?
Yeah, yes, he's not a good-looking dude, but I think he's the only person that I know that would get girls just because of his personality.
No, there's a few others. I can introduce you. Oh, yeah. There's a few others.
But I think it's hard for a dude to just like, oh, I'm gonna get a bigger penis?
Yeah. Just go. Like, there's a bunch of pills for it. Just go on browsers. There's a bunch of pills for bigger penis that are all over the place, and I'm sure they all work. 100%. 100%. FDA approved.
It will be like this.
Bigger penis pills. I'm sure that's how it works. It's only $6.99 a month, and you'll get the bigger penis.
It will be at least 15 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
Bigger.
That's what you want. Exactly.
Yeah, but what does a guy do? Like
right. No, there are things men can do.
Yeah,
it's just
of course.
The problem is the thing is for men they're not as overt. Until you get to Lamborghini, Paddock watch, Academy Award, NBA championship.
For me, I don't give a
But you don't need, right. But you understand. So this is a really interesting thing. I would highly recommend you read this book, especially for your line of work. Anything to do with evolutionary psychology. So why is it that men act the way they do? Why is it that women act the way they do? So Dr. David Buss, who is, I consider him a mentor. I've become friends with him recently. Awesome. He's fantastic. He is the foremost evolutionary psychologist on the planet when it comes to mating. And he works at the University of Texas at Austin. He has a laboratory there. He wrote a book called Why Women Have Sex. He wrote another book called When Men Behave Badly, another book called The Murderer Next Door. Fantastic books.
I'm going to get them all.
Yes, and they all relate to why humans behave the way they do through the 3 million years of hominid evolution and the 300,000 years of Homo sapien evolution, right?
Yeah.
And so when you look at those situations, and then you just kind of understand why men are the way they are, why they're less selective in every and this is it's called the parental investment hypothesis, and it's never been disproven. And the idea is if any two gender species, the gender that does more parental investment is going to be this more selective of the two genders. So you see men are much less selective with who they have sex with because they have less parental investment. They don't have the 9 months of gestation like women do. And so women are more, and then there's actually seahorses and fish where the men carry the babies and the women fight over them. So that's why this hypothesis has never been disproven.
I don't, like for me, I've never been the one that cares that much about bling or this or that or how much money you have, because I feel like the money will run out at some point, and if you're just marrying for money, you're going to be stuck there unhappy because you have to look at this person every single day of your life if that's what you choose to do. And if he is not what you want, the money won't cover it.
You know what's interesting?
You're going to be unhappy in the end. And I'm sorry, but you're going to either cheat or be unhappy or leave, You know what
I found interesting is women who can't find a true connection with anyone for whatever reason, because of PTSD or borderline personality disorder or whatever. They can't find a connection with anyone. So if I can't find a connection with anyone, fuck it, I'm going to marry this guy for money. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think these women, it's not that they can't find a connection. It's just they think they're above all the dudes, like so much that they're not worthy. But I always say
the men aren't worthy.
Yeah. Got it. And I always say, what do you bring to the table?
Right.
Just because you have tits and ass doesn't mean you bring shit to the table.
Did you guys know we had Kevin Samuels on the podcast today? Kevin Samuels, you're 40 years old and you have 3 kids. What do you bring to the table? That's funny.
And for me, it's like, you can't cook, probably. You can't clean.
Yeah.
Probably not read correctly either. You've never been to school, but you're cute and you have a nice tits and ass. I mean, tits and ass will get you just so far. You actually have to have motherly qualities where a guy will be like, that's my wife.
Right.
He wants to, like, if you have a dude that wants to have a baby with you, you're his wife now.
Right.
Like, this is it. But if guys will put their penis into anything,
right.
and I'm just being blunt.
Well, of course.
You know, you have a penis, you want to use it. The end. And that's how we are created. You know, you want to impregnate as many women as possible to spread your seed.
Yeah, you're talking about from an evolutionary standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. And that's still there. But women are more picky. But some women are so picky that nobody's worthy of them. And I'm like, come on. Yeah, you're good looking. But if that's all you have going for you, I mean,
you know what?
I don't know.
You know what else I find to be difficult for some women? So, for instance, let's just say you're a playmate, you live in Los Angeles, right? And you're going to all the biggest parties, you're getting invited to the Grammys or whatever. There's this group of men that you're surrounded by that they're not like normal men. They're the most aggressive men that lie the most and fucking have the, you know what I'm saying? The fake watch and the fucking rented Lambo. And like, but they're so... The guy who's, I always tell my female friends this, the guy who's really good on the first date, you know why he's really good on the first date? Because he goes on first dates all the fucking time.
Yep.
You know, the dude that you met that is like the divorcee, he was with his wife for 8 years and he's kind of nervous and stumbling. And you're
that's
like,
the person you want.
That's the person you want. But girls don't see it that way. They're like, yeah, he wasn't that charismatic. You know, then they just go date the male stripper instead. And they're like, oh
God, Lord.
Yeah, it's fate. This is my person.
It's gonna end badly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a playmate and he's a stripper, you know his penis has been all over the country, right? Like it's like a freaking...
Why are you telling on my friends? I got a bunch of friends that are mad at me now. No,
yeah,
you're right.
You know, it's like he detaches it and just flies around
with the penis,
like,
all over it, detached penis.
Yeah,
hey,
like,
I can't make it out there on Tuesday. I'm gonna send my penis.
Yeah,
airmail.
exactly. Like,
he's gonna have sex with you and then come back.
You know,
express penis. There we go.
Yeah, he probably has some kids.
There we go. Demonetized on YouTube like a motherfucker. That's what we just did. All right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't care. It's perfect. All right.
But yeah. So I think the problem is that women are so picky.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, I'm single by choice, not yours.
Yeah.
Not your choice.
That's interesting.
Because even if you're very, very beautiful, and you know, you've gone on dates with very beautiful women.
Occasionally,
it happens, right? And you sit there and you're like, she's doable, but man, I wouldn't want her around me next day.
So let's talk about that. So this is, let's go back to Dr. David Buss. So he does a study where he looks for the intelligence that the opposite sex is looking for. And we're just, and for this example, we're dealing with heterosexual men and women.
Yeah.
And in the study, the men stated that for the women, for a long-term partnership, they look for men of above average intelligence, right? Okay. Makes sense. Wow. For a short-term partnership, they also look for men of above average intelligence. Above average intelligence was attractive to women, whether it was a long-term partner or a short-term partner. However, not as much above average intelligence for a short-term partner.
Okay.
For men, for a long-term partner, they looked for above average intelligence as well. For a short-term partner, they did not give a fuck.
Of course.
The intelligence was not even a viable, measurable scale.
And that shows that men are more honest, and I would say more mature in that way, because if you're going to spend your time with somebody, you want to have a conversation with that person, right? You want to sit at the coffee table and be like, oh, you know, have a nice conversation, not, oh my God, honey, did you see? I was like, oh no, just shut up.
Yeah.
It's, you don't want that. I mean, if you're just going to have sex with that person, you're not going to conversate a lot.
That's kind of the way I read it, actually, is like, that men are just willing to have sex with women. There's another one, I called it the beer goggle study. So as you get closer and closer to closing time, so in the United States, for most places, it's 2 a.m. Some places like Atlanta, it's like 4 or 5, whatever. In Las Vegas, it's never. But as you get closer to closing time, the
beer goggles come on.
So for women, the viability of opposite sex mates does not change as you get closer to closing time. For men, the levels that they will seek, like embarrassing levels that they will seek to find short-term partners, even when they're married, as you get closer to closing time, the numbers just go down. Yeah. So it's like whatever. It's really crazy when they do.
You'll take what you get at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's why I love evolutionary psychology studies, because they go over these things.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It is very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm more of a sapiosexual, where I actually have to have...
So intelligence is the main thing, right?
It's very important to me, because I went to school and, you know, I want to talk to people about interesting things.
Yeah.
So... I'm not saying that other people other girls are dumb or whatever. That's
Yeah.
just my preferences. And I don't care if you have a Rolex or a Lamborghini.
Yes.
If you're dumb as all whatever, we're not going to have anything anyway, because I can't look at you. Like,
Yeah.
I can't have a conversation with you because you're dumb. Like, just because you have a Lamborghini doesn't mean you've accomplished anything.
Right. I think it might also have to do with, there's another book, I forgot if it's The Intelligence Paradox or which one it is, but it talks about people of higher intelligence will date people of higher intelligence and generally wait later to have children.
Yes.
So this is a really weird conundrum. If you guys ever watched the movie Idiocracy, more intelligent people, the higher you are up on the IQ scale, the later you wait to have children.
Yeah.
Therefore, you get outbreeded by people lower on the IQ scale or people below a 100. 100 is always the average of the IQ. People down in the like 90, 80 percentile, they're having multiple children. They are outbreeding the shit out of you.
They don't know any better.
Yeah, they are outbreeding the shit out of you with their...
They have a hole and a stick, and somehow they manage to put them two together.
It is funny, isn't it? Yeah, it is funny. All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, we keep going back to this. So now, what is the transition? So you have all these different jobs after you're dancing, but somehow you end up at a strip club in Memphis. How does that work?
It is a funny story, actually. So when I went to school, I used to have 3 jobs. So I used to work as a teacher, substitute teacher. I used to work with handicapped children and adults. And I used to do nails, and I had my own salon. And actually, one of the girls that became my client and then my friend, she moved to Memphis and was dancing. And I lost track of her for 2-3 years. And then I was dancing in a club in Copenhagen, and she walks in. Of all the clubs in Copenhagen, she walks into mine. And I just went with her to Memphis.
So you're single, got a boob job. She comes into the strip club. She's like, let's go to Memphis. Now, let me, this is a weird question, but like, how does it work with a work visa?
Oh, it was, well, so I met my husband, and he's Swedish too, by the way.
Okay.
So, and we got married so I could get my visa. But in Memphis, they're a little bit.
John has he's a U.S. citizen. I didn't know.
He
Okay,
is,
okay, got it.
yes,
Okay.
he is a U.S. citizen.
But he speaks Swedish.
Yes.
Does he speak any other languages?
No.
Just Swedish. Okay, got it.
He understands Danish, like speaks some Danish.
We'll get back to this, but
Yeah.
we're going to talk about how you met John. But keep going. How did you end up?
So I came here, and in Memphis, you're basically allowed to work for, basically not, but I did have papers that I was on a visa. So I was working there until I was like waiting to get my green card, because you can't work like in the U.S. without a green card. That's just how it is.
Let me bring up one thing real quick. So for those of you who are interested, we're having Monica's going to be a judge. We're having the I'm just going to say it right now. I'll get yelled at. The Playboy Summer Search $150,000 bikini competition at Wet Republic this summer. We're giving a $5,800 a week, and for the finals we gave out $62,500. Now
That
the
is
reason
awesome.
why I'm bringing that up is because every week when you win, let's say you're an Australian citizen. You're a British citizen, you're a Canadian citizen, you're a Mexican citizen, you're a Colombian citizen. You come here, we give you, when you win, you get a gambling voucher, which you do not need a work visa for. You go right to the cash cage. For those of you like, oh, I got to wait 3 weeks to get paid. You go right to the cage inside of MGM, you get paid in cash immediately. So the girl who wins the $20K at the end, she could be Japanese born citizen. She gets
matter.
they're going to give you 20 stacks, walk out the door the day of the bikini competition. Just in case you want to come to the competition that me and Monica are going to do. Okay?
Awesome.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
Definitely.
But so, and then I got my work visa, but I didn't know where to dance other than what my friend told me. And I love that place. I mean, in Memphis. Yeah. Purple Diamond. Love it. Love it.
What is your clientele like in Memphis?
There's a lot of old money in Memphis.
All right.
So I had a mixed bag. It could be military, cowboys. I had U.S. Marines. I had football players. I had college students.
Okay.
You know, you name it. Because it's old money, and I actually did have some LA people that were there for tech.
Memphis is a little bit more ethnically diverse than Nashville is.
Yes.
So did you ever end up at like, you know,
the ghetto?
Yeah.
Well, we actually did live in Old Town.
Okay.
Which we could walk over the railroad tracks,
Bro,
and we would hear gunshots.
Boy, the barbecue in Memphis.
It is the best.
Fantastic.
Barbecue in Memphis Memphis in May, it is the best. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we lived not far from the
Did you ever dance at a booty club and,
Never.
shaking it? Never. Okay, so
Never.
you're on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Well, all the clubs were on the right side because of the safety issue, But I wouldn't even be allowed in the big booty club.
Really?
We're talking about some booties.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I worked.
You didn't meet 3-6 Mafia. Project Pat didn't come hang out.
Oh, no.
With you. No, okay. All right. Different part of Memphis.
Yeah, wouldn't even look at me.
One in North Memphis. All right, got it. Okay. So beautiful. Now we go from that situation. You are now dancing in, is this your primary source of income when you're dancing in Memphis?
Yeah, and I made good money.
What do you make in Memphis?
In Memphis, around 15 to 20 a month.
15 to 20,000 a month.
Yeah,
so a night, what are you making?
Probably between 1,000 to 2,500.
Wow, that's good. So did you ever come to Vegas and work at the Rhino?
No, I didn't because I didn't have my work license yet.
Or Sapphire or CH3. I do not want to show favoritism, okay?
No, I didn't have the work license yet. But in Memphis, I could get around it because I had my visa and the owner was fine with it.
Okay.
He was Asian and he was super sweet. But when I did get it, I actually danced at the Palomino.
Okay, here. So
yes.
you did full nude.
Yes.
Was that how it was in Copenhagen?
Yes.
Okay, so full nude was just something you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
In Georgia, it's mostly full nude. In Texas, it's mostly topless. And here in Nevada, it's mostly topless, although we do have some
Memphis
full
was
nude.
bikini.
Okay.
And then it turned topless.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was comfortable with it. Palominos was fun. It was definitely different. It was a big club, a lot of girls. But yeah, I mean, I had a good time. But the traveling was hard for me because I would have to be here 4 days a week at least. And I lived in LA. So I just found a club in LA.
How'd you move from Memphis to LA?
My husband was living there.
Okay.
In LA. And I went back and forth, like flying. It's a 5-hour flight from
Memphis to LA?
Yeah. So I was like, I can't do this. It
So
was
you
like
didn't
5 weeks.
You didn't like dancing in LA?
I didn't know any clubs back then. I actually didn't.
It's really weird. Most dancers I know that live in LA dance in Vegas.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah.
do. But the travel is just, it kills you.
The girls that I know that dance in LA because they're allowed to do dirtier stuff.
I danced in LA.
I am not a fan of LA strip clubs at all. No offense, man, but I just like the Rhino in LA versus the Rhino in Vegas.
My God, the Rhino in LA is horrendous.
It's like Shaquille O'Neal versus Keith Kloss.
Yeah, it's. I went in there when I was looking for clubs, and I was just like, what the?
Yeah.
And there was no people. There was no nudity, no alcohol, no nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is nudity, but no alcohol. You can't. And a Red Bull's $25. It's like
nuts, man.
But yeah, I found a club in LA actually that I danced at.
Which one?
Silver Rain.
Okay, I've never been to Silver Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're there. Mm-hmm. You decide full time to move.
Yes.
With your husband to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see if I skip anything. Well, let's go back. Where did you meet John? Did you meet him in Sweden or did you meet him?
Well, we met on Facebook. We had. I mean, we had. I dated his high school friend when I was 15, 13, whatever I was. And we kind of knew each other. We came from the same group of people and stuff like that. And we just met through a girl that we both knew. I worked with her and he used to hang out with her. And she showed me him on Facebook and I kind of sent him a DM. And
you sent him a DM?
Yeah. That's how I roll.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I don't wait for it. If I like something, I go for it. Yeah.
Have you? I'm gonna ask you this because obviously you look very young. You look like your photos.
Thank you.
Have you ever had your testosterone, estrogen checked?
No.
I think you should. I'm always in especially like Nara Ford with her 6-pack abs and her like.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have it checked.
I'm curious to see. I will just generally, if you like women with higher testosterone, you just see like, high cheekbones. You'll see like nicer skin later in age, stuff like that. So I'm just curious.
I'm actually gonna schedule a blood test.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the HGH. So
so let's talk about that. You're taking HGH.
Yes.
Where did you get the idea? How long have you been taking HGH?
I'm on my 5th month.
5th month.
Yes.
Now I've heard it takes a while before you actually notice it, right? And we were describing IUs, and I think it's a little different the conversion because here I think a legal prescription is like maybe 1 a day is what people are getting, and you were doing.
So I do 30 units.
Okay.
A day of the HGH.
Okay. But it's not 30 IUs. Let's not have anybody go crazy.
No. It's
she's got tumors growing all over her body. No, it's not that much.
So the unit is if you have a diabetes and syringe, and it's in units.
Yeah.
And one is some are 100 units, some are 50.
Okay.
But I do 30 units of that. That's such a small amount.
Okay. So I don't know what the conversion is. Maybe a third of an IU or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a very, very small amount.
Okay.
Well, it's not a small amount for what it is, but it is. If you take a big, like a 18 gauge syringe, that's like 3 of the little, like it's literally this
Got
much.
it. Where do you stick yourself? In the stomach?
Tummy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do this every day?
Every day.
Does it get tiresome?
Does a little bit.
Are you worried about, because I've heard about some people getting scars. Do you have any issue with that?
No, I do have little bumps.
Okay.
But I massage them out.
Okay.
And usually they go away.
Okay. That's what my concern, because I'm on TRT, but I do it once a month. Or once a week. So that's interesting. Okay. So you're doing that and you noticed a difference? Like how long did it take you to notice a difference?
So for the first 2 months, I didn't notice anything. I was like, oh, okay. I knew it takes a while. So I was like, I wasn't worried. But on the third month, I lost 18 pounds.
The third month you lost
just like that.
18 pounds from HGH.
Yeah.
So you heard Jay Cutler was on here.
Yes.
At one point he's doing 12 IUs a day.
That's a lot.
He goes back down to 9. But man, oh man, that's crazy. Now I know they have to screen you for like a cancer factor. Is that correct? Before you take HGH?
Yeah.
And they did that for you? There's some sort of like DNA thing that they have to look for.
Yeah, no.
Because
I did fill out all the forms and stuff. So do you have any diseases in your family? Blah, 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 stuff like that. And I have nothing. So
a lot of people don't know. So HGH, they use it as treatment for some children that have some developmental issues, like hormonal and developmental issues. They'll give them HGH. Another thing is, and this is crazy when I learned about this, some barely operable tumors. They'll actually give clients HGH, patients HGH, to cause the tumor to grow to make it more operable so that they can pull it out in different parts of the body. So that's the danger of HGH is that there's certain parts of your body that still grow, like some parts like growth plates and some things with your hands and stuff like that. So that it's interesting, but it's one of these things where the main reason why it's not widespread like TRT is, right, is because, well, first off, it's really expensive. But second of all, it's because it also grows bad cells. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why it can be an issue.
I haven't had, well, I've only done it for 5 months. And, I do 2 different ones that are mixed. I get a vitality kit that is made for female bodybuilders.
So what is the vitality kit? Does it have test in it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because for that, I would have to go through a full screening.
Got it.
Because my nurse would never, or doctor would never give women tests.
Testosterone, yeah.
No. So in that, it's NAD+, Oxytocin, 2 different HGH products, B12, and a B12 mix that you spray under your tongue.
I was not aware. Oxytocin is a neurochemical.
It is.
I was not aware that you could prescribe oxytocin. Oxytocin is, for those of you who don't know, like whenever you see people like a woman has sex with a dude and all of a sudden she catches feelings for this dude who's like a worthless piece of shit. It's because of oxytocin. Like there's actually a chemical reason that happens. It's because of oxytocin. When a woman has a child and then she sees her baby for the first time, it's a flood of oxytocin. That's an evolutionary response to causes connections between Homo sapiens. That's what oxytocin, and by the way, probably with a puppy as well. That's where oxytocin, I had no idea you could prescribe a neurochemical. I didn't know that.
And you can actually, either you spray it or take it under your tongue.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have both because I had a rhinoplasty, so I couldn't really spray. So I got the pills instead. But the whole vitality kit is real. It has worked so good for me. It is amazing. Some people say that Anavar is better, but
I mean, that's a completely different thing. You're taking
it's a
steroid,
and, hair loss, bigger genitals, that whole thing for women, hair growth, fuzz.
I may or may not have bumped into one of the bigger genitals, and it's very scary the first time you see it.
It is a little micro
frightening,
thing.
Bro.
It is. Some girls have it like a whole fucking
oh my God.
Just hanging out. Yeah, but that's test. They're on test though.
It was traumatic. Hypothetically,
you.
that was traumatic. That if that ever happened,
You're like, what the?
Yeah.
But no, I've hadn't had issues like that, and yeah, I mean, Anavar is probably better for muscle building than HGH is.
So for those of you who don't know, Anavar is a legally prescribed steroid that is anabolic steroid, not cortical, that is prescribed for wasting muscle disorders. So and if you have an immune disorder that causes your body to not be able to maintain muscle mass, people will prescribe Anavar.
Yeah.
You can get a legal prescription for it, even though it's an anabolic steroid, because it's so light and it's been tested and it's oral, so it goes through more of the GI tract and doesn't put as much wear on your liver.
Still though, as a female, if you take any kind of steroid that
it's going to boost your testosterone.
It's going to boost your testosterone, and you might get a peach fuzz, and you might get the darker voice never goes away.
Yeah,
that's what I found out. That everything else can. If you stop it, everything else kind of goes away, but your dark voice never goes away.
There's so much more leeway for men than women when it comes to tests.
Oh yeah.
Because women, their normal range is going to be 20 to 100.
Yeah.
For men, that same free test range is going to be somewhere between 200, which is low, all the way to 900, 950, somewhere in that area. And then you see guys on anabolic steroids, they'll go to 1200, 1500. That's when you start seeing people get in problematic ranges. Normal range for a person not on steroids would be like the high, like I saw Deontay Wilder tested at 1100.
Oh wow!
Free test without taking steroids.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, you've seen Deontay Wilder.
He's humping everything.
Have you seen Deontay Wilder?
Yes.
Like the guy has no fat on his body at all, right?
But
so it's interesting. So testosterone is a miracle cure for a man with low test, but for women you can't quite do the same thing.
when you're past 30 or 40, some women do get small injections of test once a week, just because when we get older, things don't lubricate as well. The sex drive kind of gets lower, and that is because of your low hormones. And usually they give you a mix that has test in it, but it's such a low level of it. It's
about 17 to 1 what men and women take. It's about men are about see, I think people think, because I try to explain this to my female friends. Imagine the horniest you've ever been in your life. Multiply that times 17, and then that's every day for the rest of your life. That's what it's like being a man.
Yep.
And they're like, "What? That's insane."
And you take tests on top of that.
Yeah. And then you ask a woman who takes anabolic steroids, and the thing she talks about is an insane sex drive. It's like, no, it's not insane sex drive. It's Tuesday for us.
The thing is, though, Anavar lowers your sex drive for women. Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I went online to read about pros and cons of everything I take, and Anavar actually lowers sex drive for women.
I wonder why that is.
Probably because we're not supposed to have that much testosterone in our body.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, so you meet your husband on MySpace?
Facebook.
At Facebook, at what point do you guys meet up in person? What country are you in when you guys
Sweden.
meet up?
He actually came to visit. And yeah, we hung out. And,
You knew immediately?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
You knew on the first date?
Yeah.
That's how the Claudia and Fajal and Dan Stevens, when they were here, they kind of knew.
Yeah, I knew he was a little bit hard to get, but I cook and clean, so.
Yeah, you cook and clean.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I do other things.
Okay, so let's talk about that. All right, so I'm going to skip ahead of that because it's really, I don't think it's controversial, but I think it's really interesting. The thing that UK Daily Star, I believe, wrote several articles about you is that you are doing OF and you have a monogamish relationship where you do bring other women into the bedroom, and you at the same time you are a traditional housewife that does the cooking and the cleaning.
Yeah.
First off, I want to ask you the criticisms that you got from that. What were those like?
That I'm dumb and my husband is treating me badly. And with press, you have to understand one thing. To sell press, it always gets a little bit hyped. I'm not saying everything was hyped, but some of it was. It has to be interesting to read. Second of all, it is up to me, to feel treated or badly treated or good treatment or bad treatment. It's up to me.
Yeah.
And he doesn't treat me bad at all.
Right.
And it is my choice,
of course,
to let other women in a relationship, or it's my choice to cook and clean. I'm my own person, and I choose to do these things because I like them.
Okay, so let me ask you a question from a preference standpoint. Would you consider dating a woman?
No.
You don't find women sexually attractive.
I do.
You find women sexually attractive.
But I would never date a woman.
You would never date a woman.
No,
So on the
women are batshit crazy.
Okay, so
batshit.
So I have found there's a book again called Dataclysm where they go over this, where they discuss bisexuality in men and women. And for men, it seems to be a bit more binary, and for women, it seems to be a bit more of a spectrum.
Yeah.
And so I know some women that are 80-20. They have threesomes with men, but they kind of tolerate them, and their main relationship is with their girlfriend, right? So for instance, I'll give you an example. Lou Williams, he plays point guard for the Atlanta Hawks. He's dating two women at once. Basically, he's dating a lesbian relationship, and he's just sort of included as the bus driver, right? And then
he's just there for the show,
right, for sure. And then there's certain situations where a woman is mostly into men, but just has no proclivity against a women being with them whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's where you'd find yourself. You find women attractive.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to be in a relationship
No.
with one. Okay. At no point is it too much. You just always find women attractive. It's never like an issue. And you don't seem to have an issue with jealousy in the physical form whatsoever.
No, for me, it's like this. If a man wants to leave you, he'll leave you.
Right.
Regardless of if you're hanging from the ceiling upside down.
I call this the
freaking
golden vagina myth.
Yeah, it's like if he wants to leave you and cheat, he'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of your vagina being, I don't know, God's gift, the best, whatever.
The technical term is voodoo clam. The scientific term is voodoo clam. Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If he's going to do it, he's going to do it anyway.
Right.
And why I know, because I have a lot of guy friends.
Yes.
And they talk to me a lot. So I know this. And girls would be like, oh my God, girl, you're so pretty. How could he cheat?
You're right.
I'm like, because he's a dude and he wanted to cheat. Like,
yeah.
What can I say?
You're right.
It's like, you're not above anybody else. If your husband or man wants to put a into somebody else, he's going to do it.
Right.
Regardless of whether you love it, like it, hate it, whatever, he doesn't care. It happens.
And the reason why is from an evolutionary standpoint, like you said before.
And you know, I had women in my DMs being like, you have to stop. My man is following you and he cheated and this and that. And I was like, crazy lady, this is why he cheated. Because you're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You're in his Instagram writing to a girl he follows with 2.4 million.
That's a good point.
And you're wondering why he's cheated. I mean, I haven't seen you, but I mean, this is like...
My favorite was Nara Ford telling me that a guy subscribed to her OnlyFans and then paid to like DM her to tell her she was a piece of shit. I'm like, you're paying me. Like, you're paying me.
Oh, I've had that too.
You're
Jesus
paying
Christ.
me.
I had a dude that had done 4 different accounts on IG to troll me.
Yeah.
I blocked every single one. Then he paid, followed my OnlyFans just to continue. And I'm like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, you have no respect whatsoever, like zero.
Yeah.
This is a mission for you now.
So it seems like the two things that make this work is one, so as a man, so when I have this conversation with men, I have a mentoring program I coach called the Men of Action Mentoring Program. Mm-hmm. And I have this conversation with men sometimes, and I like to have women on the call whenever I ask this question.
Yep.
I say, men, is it possible for a man to fully and totally love his wife and his children and have sex with other women?
100%.
And every single man, I don't have to make eye contact. We don't talk about it beforehand. Every man raises their hand, yes.
Yeah.
And it's the women look around, shocked, stunned. What do you mean? No, you obviously don't love me because you had sex.
Sex and love aren't the same.
And you, as a female, fully grasp what you just said there. And a lot of women don't understand that or find it to be a double standard or just don't like it.
But I just don't. I mean, I can do the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, I can love my husband and fuck other dudes. It doesn't mean that I love my husband less.
Right. I mean, so we call it compartmentalize. You're able to compartmentalize.
Yeah, I mean, I was a dancer. I had men touching me all day.
Right.
Didn't take away from anything.
Right.
I mean, I was touched on and loved on by other men.
You did mention that the dancing would affect your libido.
It
I dated a girl who worked in college. I dated a girl who worked in a adult film store. She was because they were paying $21 an hour, and this is like 1999.
Yeah.
And so she's taking and she's trying to pay for a graduate degree.
Yeah.
She says she's working there, and she says it's so disgusting what she had to deal with every day with these dudes that she would come home and she's like didn't want to have sex.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's disgusting, but as a person, doesn't matter man or woman, you only have so much like feelings in you.
Yeah.
Like you only have so much love to give, or not love, but affection.
Maybe it's just serotonin. Maybe it's you only have so much oxytocin to give out, or so much dopamine to give out, and then you're done for the day.
And you're working 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
5 days a week, because this was for me like a normal job.
Yeah.
And I would have back-to-back customers. And I mean, I didn't sleep with these people, but you know, you were close to them because
but they still take it out of you.
Yeah.
They still take some of the affection out of you. Yeah.
I'm not saying it was always awesome or whatever, because, you know, as a woman, your hormones are everywhere. But I mean, I didn't love my husband less. Just, I mean, I wasn't affectionate enough because I didn't have it in me. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't have anything more to give. I'm sorry.
There's a great book about willpower. I can't remember. There's several of them. One of them is called the Power of Full Engagement. And the idea is this: willpower is like a muscle that wears out over the day. Yeah. Right? So what do? We do the fasted cardio in the morning. Yeah. Right. We go to work. We don't drink a beer before we go to work. No, right. We go to work. We maybe do our exercises before work. We have a stressful day at work. Market crashed, lost a big client.
Who knows?
You come home, you undo the belt, you go grab a beer out of the refrigerator, and willpower is fucking gone.
It is gone.
Like, that's when all the bad decisions happen. Like you're a little drunk, because the willpower's gone. I imagine it would be the same thing. Yep. You have a certain amount of affection, willpower, whatever.
And I'm a person, I never needed to do drugs or drink to dance. I actually...
You know a lot of girls that did, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was very common.
And I tell every single one, if you have to be an alcoholic or drug user to do this job isn't for you. Right. Because it will wear you down and you won't last. I didn't dislike my job. I was just done with it, because when you're 30-something, hanging on a pole in a strip club is a little bit pathetic at that point. You know, you have to know when you hang up the shoes and be like, okay, you're 20, here you go, take my place. But you get very tired, and because you have to kind of morph into somebody else every time you talk to a customer. And after a while, I was like, you know what? This is me. This is what you get. If you don't like it, fuck it. Yeah. You know, I was just, and people were loving it. They were like, you're just a normal person. I'm like, yeah, I'm a normal person. Just because I do this job, it doesn't define me. Yeah. I know. I'm like, oh, daddy. I'm not like that. You won't get that from me.
Hey, you guys are so hot. All of the dudes in here are weird. Let me hang out with you guys. You guys seem so. Dude, the stripper dialogue. Okay, I've never told anybody this, but I used to manage.
Used to be a stripper. No, I'm just kidding.
So I used to manage a strip club in college, or just out of college.
Nice.
And
good money.
I was a DJ on the weekends.
Oh, so good money for you.
Well, no, daytime. Sunday daytime is not good money, or Monday daytime is terrible money. But anyway, the new girls would come Sunday daytime. That's when we do the tryouts, and they'd be asking me what to say to the guys. Right? I'm a 24-year-old college.
You're like, I don't know.
No, I knew what to say. I'd been there for years. I knew exactly what to say.
You're like,
I told them this. I said, like, close your eyes and imagine you're an overweight 40-year-old white man. That's it. That's all I tell them. And I did that. It's like
they left.
No. Then the girls would be like, "Okay, we're playing Led Zeppelin." Like they understood once I said that what I was talking about. But yeah, man, those were some interesting times.
No, I mean, for me, there were no lap sitting, no calling you daddy, no. I would be like, "Hello, my name is Monica. How are you?"
Let's get some money.
No, I just talked to them like regular people. Right. Because there are regular people, and I'm a regular person. I just work with less clothes on, and whatever. I provide a service, but I mean, I've never had issues because they actually even if a guy comes into a strip club, it doesn't give you the right to sit on his lap and touch him. Right. Because he's a human being, and just as there is rape culture for women, there's rape culture for men. So if you're a stripper, doesn't mean that all the guys love to have you on their lap touching you. Yeah. I mean, if you go to
this is a really interesting, because I have experienced this, but nobody feels sorry for me. But yeah, I totally.
You as a dude, if you walk in, doesn't mean anything. Yeah. You can be at a strip club because your wife dances there. The manager. I mean, it can be a million different things why you walked into a strip club. Doesn't mean that somebody is going to have to sit on your lap and touch you and call you daddy. Got it. Because you might be uncomfortable with that, and I just respect that boundary. Yeah. So that's why I shake hands and I'm like, hey, how are you doing?
That's awesome. All right. So back to the two things we talked about before. The first thing was you're able to to categorize, separate sex from intimacy, right? So you have a main partner, but you're having sex with other people, and they're your friends, but they're not part of the partnership.
Yeah, exactly.
The second part is that you also find women attractive.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say if I were going to put you on the spectrum, I'd say you're 40-60. You're 40% into women, 60% into men.
I would say 80%.
80-20, but women are still attractive to you.
Yeah. I mean, if I see a beautiful woman, I will tell her she's beautiful or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't, I do content with women, but.
Yeah, that's my point though. Then there's the decision who to film with. Right. Yeah. What causes the decision for, because now you're bringing a woman into your bedroom, you're filming it. Yeah. What says, okay, this girl's right, this girl's wrong?
It's usually how easy they're to deal with from the get-go.
It's a personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, is she on time? Is she clean? Does she seem like she would fit our model of doing things?
Yeah.
Like, it's mostly stuff like that. And if we vibe, it's awesome. It doesn't have to be somebody necessarily that has big boobs and blonde hair because guys like variety. Yeah. But I don't have any, like, it's mostly how easy the girl is to deal with, I would guess. Like, if she's on time, if she's easy to talk to, easy to, to book or whatever.
How often are girls, other OF influencers in your DM saying that they do want to film with you?
It has happened a few times. I
would imagine it happens more than a few times. You just got to check that request folder in your IG.
Well, I mean, I do.
Yeah.
The only thing I've heard from some girls that I'm intimidating. So they don't really approach me. And
we're fixing all that today. She's super nice. She's as tall as me, but she's super nice.
My pictures don't do me. I mean, I can understand if you see my AG, I can kind of understand where
you look very powerful. Yeah, you look like a Wonder Woman with curves. That's what. Yeah, that's the overall vibe I get on your Instagram. So lots of shoulders back, front on, stuff like lots of Wonder Woman vibe.
Yeah. So a lot of girls think that I'm a bitch or I'm some. I would say no. Yeah. But I do. I've had a lot of girls ask me, and I've said yes, but some book, some don't. It's a matter of them flying out, and sometimes
they got to go to Scottsdale.
Yeah. Sometimes we've come out here, or I've flown them out, or whatever. And I don't really have any. Oh, you have to have this many followers. You have to do this or whatever. I don't care.
Hey, let's do something right now. I'll blank the names out if you want me to. Dream list. You could have them come because listen, I might know them. There's a girl, you message her, you see her online, she's super hot, and you'd love to have her come film with you. Is there anybody on that list? Maybe you haven't met them, haven't talked to them. I'm trying to see if I can help you out here.
No.
I'm gonna say some names and you can. I'm blanking.
Okay. Yeah. No. No.
You don't like? Or you?
She's okay.
Really?
She's okay.
She's more than okay.
Callie Burns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? Keep going. Anybody else?
Callie Burns is hot. It's because she's my girl. She's like gold.
Let's go outside. Maybe they're not even on OF. Anybody else? I'm trying to think of anybody else.
I like fitness girls.
Okay.
So like I love the Brazilian fitness girls.
Oh, there's a bunch of them in Miami.
Yeah. That's my jam. I don't know. I just like fitness people in general.
Yeah.
When it comes to dudes as well.
Yeah.
So
beautiful. Okay. I'm just curious. If you have somebody on the list, let me know. I'm just very
sure.
I'm very curious how this whole thing works.
And listen, if there's any girl that has ever wanted to work with me or wants to work with me, please hit me up. I'm super nice. I won't yell at you and I won't bite.
Beautiful.
I love the creator community. So
nice. Okay, so you would do that. They come over. You pick different people that you film with. Yeah. You generally have do you have a relationship outside of it, like as a friendship?
Yeah,
generally with them?
We usually go out to dinner, stuff like that. So yeah, it's super super easy going.
There was a point where you did traditional porn before OF. Is this true or no?
I did. I'm so not proud of this.
Okay.
This was like my weakest moments of.
This is after
life.
The teaching job.
Yeah, when I came here, I did 2 videos. I didn't know it would blow up that bad, and I'm trying to scrub that off the internet.
So was it a thing where this happened, you just came and you were...
I did it here, actually, in Vegas.
In Vegas, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was... If anybody asks me, oh, I want to do professional porn.
Yeah.
I say straight up, don't do it.
Yeah. Why is that?
It will fuck you up.
Why?
Because it's so, you shoot for such long periods and it's so mechanical, and people just show up. You don't even know who that is, and it's just weird.
Yeah.
And it's always shady. It's even browsers is shady.
Yeah.
Like it's always shady. And once you've done it, it's out there.
Yeah.
And you don't own the material.
Right.
So you're fucked. If you want to get it off the internet, you lawyers, whatever, it's, I mean, I managed to get 90% of it down because the company I did it for got sued for sexual harassment, and it was a whole big deal. So Pornhub actually disabled their account fully because they're in a lawsuit.
So this is a DCM. What is it called when you get
DMCA?
DMCA.
Yeah,
do you have a DMCA lawyer?
Yeah,
or
I have two.
Okay, and they can take the content.
Yeah, and
down.
if somebody steals your content off OF, it's it will be prosecuted by OF if they find who you are. Yeah. Or the lawyer. Yeah. So I actually had people like they got prosecuted for $50,000 because they found out who they were through I don't know how. Yeah. But I've had a couple of people that got fined $50,000 for downloading material illegally from OnlyFans.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's incredible.
And they're not joking around.
I was curious about that. Does OnlyFans, because there's a way to do this, would they be able to like put small?
They have watermarks on everything.
That's what I'm saying. So is that what OnlyFans does? So they put these little archive or whatever
watermarks
in there, but you can't see them.
No, you can't. I mean, you can see the link. It's in your video. So if somebody downloads it for OF, you can see the whole link. Yeah. And the watermark on it once it's downloaded. Okay, I see. It shows up.
Yeah, I was thinking about something even more technical than that, like a hidden watermark.
It's called metadata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I screen record something, I don't think it's going to take the metadata.
No.
Right? I mean something like a little piece of something where up in the corner where you can't even tell, but it's unique to the user. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this guy, so now you actually know who stole it.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know if OnlyFans does that, but that would be something. I mean,
they're very harsh. Yeah. And they will shut like full pages down. Yeah. That has material. That's why, for example, PH is so strict with Pornhub. Yeah. Taking it down straight away. Yeah. Because they will get fined. Yeah. Or they will be removed from Google. So what the DMC does, if they can't remove the material, because sometimes it's on a server abroad, which creates an legal issue. So it's different laws, and they can't take it down. They just take it down straight off Google. So my DMC lawyer would go to Google and say, "Hey, this is what it is," and Google just takes it down completely. Yeah. So you can't even Google it.
So I did want to have a conversation with you about this traditional versus OnlyFans. Yeah. When you do adult work. Yeah. The idea of women having their own agency to pick who they film with. Yeah. And what you find is in traditional porn, it's a woman and a myriad of men. And then what I've seen, just from the interviews I've done, is that when women do it on OF, the number is much smaller. It's or it's just one. Yeah. Right. I have a girl. I won't even say who it is, but there's. She's been on the show, and it's always the Uber driver, the fucking pizza delivery guy, the whatever. Yeah. But it's the same guy. It's the same guy. It's her fiance. Now here's the irony. She's getting messages from people calling her a whore. Those women have been jumping from boyfriend to boyfriend. She's been with the same dude for 8 years. She's been with one dude for 8 years.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. She's been with one dude for 8 years.
Yeah. And people think that she hasn't. Yeah. People think that she hasn't. Yeah. And I'm like, this girl has, like, she's been with that same person forever. And yeah, she's very dirty. Yeah. Like, in a good way, she's naughty. Yeah. Oh, I think we're talking about the same person. Oh yeah, no. Yeah. I was talking about.
I'm blanking all this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about Britannia Rosavi.
I don't know her.
You don't know Britannia?
No, bring her on. I'd love to talk to her.
You don't know who Britannia Rosavi is?
Show me later. I don't know.
She was on. I think she started on For Love and Hip Hop. Okay. And she got famous eating a hot dog with cum on it.
Oh, that's somewhat. I don't think I'd become famous that reason.
Britannia,
I've never heard of that.
She's been with her man for, 15 years. Yeah. People think that she's the biggest whatever. Yeah. She has 2 kids. She's been with the same man. That's all she does. Yeah. They build a freaking empire. That's I would yeah.
That's
she's
perfect. That's what you look for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I love Britannia, but I don't think she does collabs or anything like that.
And that's the other thing is that like you having the agency, so you keep 80%. For those of you who don't know, you keep 80%. Is that the way it works? The cut from OF is 20%.
Yes, it is.
It's
20%.
pretty standard. It's a standard play rate.
Yeah.
For 20%. That's incredible. Oh yeah, I meant to ask you this. You're like first team All Pro. You are top 10. Do you know where you are exactly as far as ranking? The highest you've ever been as far as OF content creators? Because I know you are way the fuck up there.
Yeah, 0.08.
0.08. Do you know? Like, has anybody showed you like stratified any sort of analytics or something like that?
No. I know. I'm way up there.
You've done 7 figures in a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you're way up there. And a lot of like, and the thing is, a lot of people. We had Amber Marie on here, who's friends with. Do you know Destiny Dixon? No. Okay. Well, Amber, she came on here and she talked about, she only has, she has about 100K followers. And she was talking about how she had to work really hard to make any money on OF. Yeah. And it's very difficult because everybody thinks that, hey, I'm just going to move the line and just get dirtier and dirtier. No. And that's just not how it works.
So the OnlyFans market is saturated. And I'm going to be blunt and honest because I work for an agency now that actually helps girls with social media. Yeah. Social media training, which means...
This is the Exclusivity agency?
Yes.
What's it called?
Future of Exclusivity.
Future of Exclusivity.
It's me, James Thompson, and Josh Heffler.
IamThompson and Josh Heffler. Wait, Josh Heffler was with, who was that before?
Fearless, but
yeah,
whatever. Let's not talk about that. Yeah. But we started where we want to help women to have more understanding of social media and what you actually have to do on social media to blow up. So... we're helping those girls to get better social media presence, cleaner social media presence, cleaner PR. And if they want to get out of OnlyFans, they will have this base of whatever they did, like Snapchat shows, cooking shows. We help them with everything. Yeah. Because the OnlyFans market, I'm sorry to tell you, is oversaturated. Yeah. If you didn't hop on the bandwagon 2016, 17, now you're not fucked, but it's gonna be hard for you. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you're just showing tits on the internet. That is true. It's not rocket science. But when a market is oversaturated, it is rocket science. This is why it becomes to inventing the wheel 20 times.
This is why I tell people, so there's an organic phase and then a paid phase. Now, there's not really going to be a paid phase with OF. No. But there's an organic phase with Facebook, and then the paid phase came. Yeah. And now all of a sudden your videos don't get seen as much unless you pay for traffic. There was there's a huge organic phase with Instagram. That's when Bilzerian started, like 2012, and then there became a paid phase. So it's
now it's just a struggle phase.
It's a struggle phase, right? But even with the paid phase, it's difficult on IG, right? Yeah. And YouTube definitely, like PewDiePie when he started. PewDiePie, whatever his name is. Yeah, when he started,
he's Swedish.
Yeah, for sure. He when he started, he's in the beginning of the organic phase.
Oh yeah, he had it. He had it made.
There will never be another PewDiePie because you have to pay for it. Ty Lopez, he was more in the pay phase. There we go, Mr. Beast, exactly. So that there's the organic phase and then there's the paid phase. Right now, everybody's listening to this. TikTok is still in the organic phase.
It is.
You can do very little and get 30K followers on there. So because know it's in the organic phase, it's like putting away a little bit of savings every month. That's why I recommend everybody get on TikTok now because you don't know when IG's going to flip.
And it's getting harder and harder. Yeah. Because TikTok is getting stricter and stricter, first of all. So if you're new, I wouldn't recommend doing any sort of sexual content whatsoever because you're going to get kicked out. You're going to get shadow banned. It's just issues. You can blow up. I literally did a video which was so ridiculous. Thompson filmed me going into the bathroom at Venice Beach and dry heaving because it was disgusting. It was like poop everywhere. Okay. And it got 250,000 views on TikTok. Yeah. In like half day. Yeah. Stuff like that blows up because it's funny, you can relate, and it doesn't have to be sexual.
Did it get you in trouble, though? You didn't get
Not at all.
I had one last week or 2 weeks ago get 400,000 views, and it was It was a guy. He's missing 2 legs and 1 arm. It's Nick Santonastasso. He was born like that, and he dresses up like a zombie, and he comes out like in a Walmart, and he's like, rah, and he comes chasing people, and they freak the fuck out. They got 400,000 views, and then I had one with Claudia Fajal get 15 million views, and she was talking about when she was sitting on her soon-to-be husband's lap for the first time, he did not get hard, and she was so confused why he didn't get hard.
And why did it get taken down?
It never got taken down.
Oh,
that one didn't get. None of these got taken down. I had a previous TikTok where it was all the crazy shit that I post on my IG. I just copied. I just went from IG story to TikTok. All that shit got taken down.
Yeah, because it's the metadata is still there.
Yeah.
When you download it from Instagram, and TikTok senses it and takes it down as copyright.
Kindly told me that anytime she would go full on butt, so if she shows her butt from the side, she's fine. On TikTok, as soon as she goes full on from the back,
gone.
It's immediately
Bam.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those Chinese people, they really don't like butts.
They don't like butts. They don't like titties either.
I think they like, they seem to be liking the younger girls.
Oh, yeah.
Seem to have no fucking problem with them dancing on there. But yeah,
no, in
girls
a bikini
curves,
to wet as pussy.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
That's in there. As long as they're 12.
And that's appropriate.
As long as they're 12, it's fine. But if they're of age, then there's an issue.
If you're 18, you're done.
Dude, it's so crazy. I don't understand how TikTok does this.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, OnlyFans is getting into that saturated phase.
Yes.
And people think that, I'll just do more material, dirtier material. I'll just sleep with the whole world. This is not the way.
Yes.
Because you have to understand, when Pornhub was created, guys could now watch like your favorite. You can watch your favorite porn star perform, and you can just watch her and just find all of her stuff. But as a guy, when you've watched somebody on Instagram for years and years, you want to talk to that person.
Yeah.
It's about that connection. It's not about you showing titties. But yes, they want to see your titties. But when you've shown your titties 50 times, they've seen them. They want to talk to you.
Yeah.
They're interested in you. They're interested in what you're doing. Take them on your daily life. Just talk about daily shit. They want to be a part of your life because they're interested in you. Yeah, the sex part is great and interesting, but they want a piece of you, They're talking to you.
Yeah.
So that's what they want.
Yeah.
So just pushing out more content isn't going to help you.
Or making the content more lascivious.
Yeah,
doesn't help.
It doesn't. I mean, I get just as many likes on a picture where I'm fully clothed, talking about my day, than I get on a titty picture or more.
Those fans love you then. That's incredible.
Yeah, because you have to establish that with your fans. Pushing out like 20 sex tapes a day won't make your fans love you more.
Let me ask you, the first time you filmed Boy Girl OF and you uploaded it, was there a spike that first day?
It was. Yes. But remember, I started OF when there was no pay-per-views, no nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. But the first time I did send out a pay-per-view, I went from making 5,000 to 16 in 1 month.
In 1 month. So you tripled your income from the first one. Now, I would imagine progressively it's not that much of a jump as you do more Boy Girl.
No.
So
you got to switch it up. When you've done Boy Girl for a long time and you've done threesomes and foursomes and whatnots, they know you have the content.
Right.
The content they want is your personal content.
Okay.
Like you waking up in the morning, you having coffee, you being, hey babe, how are you doing? How is your day? Sending them small videos like that. It's more interesting for them to see you like that than see you fucking.
You do that on OF or you do that on IG Live or where do you?
OF.
On OF. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay,
yeah, I
cool.
send out videos every day to like in person to my fans. Like, hey, how are you doing? This is my day. Like for free. I send small clips out. I take them on my day. Like I told everybody I was on here today and they're super excited, So stuff like that is much more valuable for your fans than you spreading your pussy or do a BG,
Yeah. From an analytics standpoint, how many subscribers do you have from Instagram? Did you know?
I get about 100 to 200 new subscribers every day.
Total, do you know how many subscribers you have?
45,000.
45,000. So this is another thing I want to point out, right? 45. You have 2.4 million on IG, which would convert to 47,000, which is huge. I mean, obviously 47,000, you can retire.
Yeah.
But that conversion is not quite. It's not. You don't have 2.6 2.4 million followers on subscribers.
And I've
on
had my page on free every now and then, you know.
So you don't do 2 pages, you just do one.
I have one free page as well, but I the most work I do is on my big page. But I would say the conversion rate is getting lower and lower.
Is it?
I have to work harder
to get people to come from IG.
Yeah.
So for this podcast, the first week I did it, huge rush of link clicks to come subscribe to my podcast. It got progressively less because a great book I'm reading right now called Traffic Secrets. It's about how to build sales funnels.
Okay.
And they talk about people who watch podcasts want to watch podcasts. When you try to get people from Instagram to watch podcasts, a few of them will.
Yeah.
But they want different kinds of content.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that it took me a while to learn. Hold on. I don't know what I'm coughing on. So what happened is the situation with me. I get every day I go out, somebody comes up to me. I love your podcast. Your podcast is great, and I'm like, oh, awesome, man. Where did you watch it? And I always ask them where they watch it, and it's always IG Reels or TikTok.
Or YouTube.
No, but that's the thing. They're not watching on YouTube. It's so crazy. I have 20,000 people watching on YouTube.
I guess when you're a YouTube watcher, you watch only YouTube.
That's my point. It's like like the same video will get 400,000 views and like 10,000 views on YouTube and 400,000 views for the 1 minute clip on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so I have people who like legitimately feel connected to the podcast who have never watched it on YouTube. It's nuts when you realize
it's crazy.
They come up to me and and they're like, dude, I'm a huge fan of your podcast. I love this, this, and this. And I realize they've never seen an episode. It happens all the time.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought most people watch podcasts on YouTube.
No, it's fun.
It's a YouTube thing.
Because the thing is, it's long form versus short term form. Some people just want short form content.
Yeah.
A lot of people see that 2 hour mark on my YouTube videos and they're like, that's too much. I can't do that. That's why I always recommend to everybody, watch at double speed. Get used to watching YouTube videos at double speed for the information. So that's the main thing. But like I found that I have it's funny. I thought my TikTok and Reels were going to promote my podcast. It's the complete opposite. My podcast gives me clips to put on TikTok and Reels, which is the biggest thing I've ever done in my life. My TikTok and my Reels are the biggest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I love my Reels.
Yeah.
My Reels get good views, but I think it's also the market for OF is oversaturated.
Yeah.
And pages come and go. We know that. Yeah. It's like MySpace, goodbye, Facebook, whatever, And now OF, it's like it was big, but everything I think has an ending point.
Right.
And I think OF is coming to that little,
an inflection point where the growth is not going to keep going up.
And we have to understand the inflation is what, 13% right now?
I mean, yeah.
$13.99?
Something like that,
percent, whatever. The gas is what, $7-8 in LA?
Yeah.
Fill up your car. Pay for a subscription on OF.
It's getting harder because
it's getting harder. So I think, and a lot of people are really worried right now because I dropped in percentage, or I went on percentage, I dropped in money. But you have to understand the inflation's 14%. People don't have money to go to work.
Right.
They're not going to spend it on your tits.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's a horrible reality, but it is a reality.
People are going to buy less porn. Horrible reality.
Horrible.
We are setting you up for that reality now.
Yeah.
You made a quote. I love this, but it's very interesting. The effects of OnlyFans on society. You said if OnlyFans went away, a lot of girls would end up dead.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
A lot of girls have been saved by OnlyFans.
I agree.
There's girls who have been homeless, escorting in very dangerous situations, pimps, dancing and being suicidal, not wanting to do it, doing drugs. OnlyFans has helped a lot of families. And what men, not men, but what people on Instagram don't understand when they say get a real job. During 2 years of the pandemic, where should I go and get a real job? When I got laid off, I'm like, a girl would be like, I'm kind of good looking, I've been laid off. I have 2 kids. I don't have a husband. Or say both me and my husband get laid off. Where am I going to go? To Joe Biden and be like, Joe, give me a job? It's, you have to do what you have to do to put food on the table and a roof over your head. And OnlyFans provides that. So saying get a real job, it's like, yeah, I have it. I make money on OnlyFans. I probably make more money than you do telling me to get a real job.
By the way, that's why they're offended. They're not offended because you make money on OnlyFans. They're offended because you make more money than them and they got a master's degree. That's why they're offended.
But the thing is, you can make more money for yourself if you put your mind to it.
Correct, yeah.
You're your only, hurdle. Get over yourself and work for it.
Yeah.
Just because you have a master's degree, I mean, I know people that have a master's degree that don't give two shits and they sit in a, local Trader Joe's because they're just lazy and they just don't want to go for it.
Yeah.
Or they're scared to do it.
Yeah.
Either you take the plunge or make a lot of money, or you sit there.
Yeah.
And complain.
You can make the money now, and the other thing is, like you said before, it might not be here forever.
Yeah, exactly.
So the money, take them. I have a lot of friends of mine. They'll come out to Vegas and they'll be like, "I'm considering going back to school or being a cocktail waitress." And I'm like, if you're a cocktail waitress now, you can make 180 to 240 a year. Yeah. You can go to school when you're 30 or 40. Yeah. I would do that first, right? Yeah. The opportunity is now. So you're saying like the opportunity is now.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if this is something you want to do, but with OnlyFans, you have to understand, if you have family, they will find out sooner or later. If you make enough money, they will find out.
My family hadn't found out yet.
Well, now they do.
Just kidding. Just kidding. And Sartain family in Dallas. None of that's true.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. Don't go look, please.
But they will find your stuff.
Yeah.
And it's up to you if you want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like
you said, it's out there forever.
It's a harsh reality. Either you want to make the money or you don't. It's like black or white, kind of.
So let's talk about this. You still have an estranged relationship with your mother after?
We haven't talked for 6 years.
Wow. Do you think this is something she could come off of? No, she's just very hard on this.
My mom has a narcissistic personality disorder.
Okay.
She's a god in her own world.
Right.
And if somebody doesn't do as she says, it's going to be a horrible time for everybody.
It's punishment.
It's punishment.
You got to be punished for
yeah. And she's a doctor. She made $100,000 a month in Sweden as a doctor.
100,000 krona or $100,000? Dollars. Wow.
Yeah, that's 1 million krona. Yeah. I make 12.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I make 12 times more money than her, and she went to school for 15 years, 10 years, whatever. And being a person with a narcissistic personality disorder, that's an issue.
So that's hard for her that we're going back to the same thing. I talked about this in a previous podcast. You're attacking her religion. When people's religion are, I went to school and then I worked hard and then therefore I should make more money than you because I did this. And then you go play NBA basketball or you go get on OnlyFans, you make a bunch of money. And now you're attacking my religion. Yeah. My religion was get into a bunch of debt, have children when you're young, go to church every week. And because you didn't do that, but if you do those things, then you will be rewarded by society. Yeah. When you choose to not do those things, you're supposed to pay a price. Yes. And you and me, for that matter, we didn't pay that price. Nope. We didn't do those things and we didn't pay that. I'm in Las Vegas hosting a bikini competition. You know what I'm saying? And I was in the military. Like we didn't pay.
You've done yours. I mean, we've both worked. We both have educations. We both worked. Yeah. We've both been in the real world. Yeah. We just chose to be our own bosses. Right. And how we choose to be our own boss, you can be an Uber driver, you can do Airbnb, you can do whatever you want. I'm not saying you have to be an adult entertainer. But you can be your own boss. It's just you have to kind of get used to not getting that paycheck every day. Right. That's the part that makes it would be a fluctuation in income. Exactly. That would make it kind of difficult. Yeah. Have you ever considered an info product? You making an info product, teaching other people how to either grow their Instagram or I would love to. Yeah. I mean, I'm all about giving back. Yeah. And if I have people in my DMs that need help or just have a safe space to talk about things, I'm always there. Like I won't charge you. Like I just feel like I think you should make a master's course. You understand what I mean by info product. Oh, go to Lightspeed VT over here and then just like actually start teaching. This is step 1. This is step 2. You're on camera. I think you could actually teach a master's course on how to do this. I would love to do it. And and I've been through all the fluctuations with OnlyFans. I've been through no pay-per-view phase, everything gets stolen. Yeah. I know Tim. I know Tim Stokely. He's, people think that he made all of this about OnlyFans, banning, whatever. Yeah. Tim was in the adult industry before. That's why he started OnlyFans. He was in the adult industry. He is supportive of the adult industry. The problem is the banks are not.
Yeah. So the underwriters for the IPO that they wanted to go. Yeah.
So,
because currently there is no publicly traded company that does porn.
No, and you're not. I mean, it might be down the line, but I don't think you're allowed to.
No, you can. I mean, certain countries you can. That's fine. It's just that the banks that want to underwrite.
Yeah,
it would be. They didn't want to set that precedent.
Yeah. But I've been through the ups and downs with OnlyFans, and when they said they were banning porn, I was like, they will solve it. I know they will.
Yeah, the memes. I don't think they expected. I think it was meme culture that actually got them. I think they looked at how many people. They didn't. When you start saying $1 billion, hey, bro, you're going to lose $1 billion if you do this. Yeah,
$17 billion.
You're going to lose $17 billion if you make this move. I don't care how puritanical you are. You're $17 billion, really?
Like, hell no.
What? $17 billion? It's like the girl who I've talked to some girls before. It's like, I started dancing and my parents were upset. Then I bought them a house and they seem to be okay with me dancing now. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody can be bought.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
Yeah.
Either with money or fame or whatever. But I've been through OnlyFans and I would love to teach a crash course and a master course in OnlyFans and social media marketing in general. I've done it a lot.
So the articles that came out about you, those were really interesting. It's the UK Daily Sun, I believe.
Yeah.
The one about you gained 20 pounds of muscle.
Yes.
What? How did you do that? 20 pounds of muscle? Was this just a change your diet, weight training?
Yeah. So I was always very thin. I was flat, like nothing. And I did a BBL. I did 2 BBLs. None of the fat survived.
Yeah.
So with me, people saying I have a fake butt, I do not. All the fat died.
Yeah.
I might have 10% left on a good day. But I started going to the gym and I worked out by myself. I always worked out. I have an eating disorder. I have bulimia. So I have to.
Currently?
Yes.
Okay.
I've had it since I was a teenager.
Okay.
But I don't have it anymore, but you always have it. It's like you're an addict. You're always an addict, but you don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I started working out. It made me feel better. Then I got a personal trainer. That was awesome. And I wanted to compete. So my personal trainer put me on a bodybuilder diet and bodybuilder workout.
The egg yolks and the chicken and the rice and all that stuff.
Turkey. Yeah. Turkey and rice all day long.
Goodness gracious.
That's a mantra. But yeah, I gained 20 pounds.
That's crazy. It's all muscle. That's
all
amazing. The story about you having trouble working out because men kept hitting on you. You were going to hire a bodyguard.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Well, I have guys approach me at the gym.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. And that bodyguard thing was a kind of like, haha.
I can bench press more than you, bro.
Yeah.
You even lift, bro.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I don't. I kind of didn't want to release the article because I didn't want to come off as a
Got
bitch.
it. So you think that may be part of where you have this impression,
Yeah, and I am not. I'm really nice. If people come up to me and want to take a picture or whatever, I would never say no.
Yeah.
If you're weird, I will tell you to back off.
Yeah.
But if you're nice and not weird, I don't have an issue with it.
And then, of course, the other article about you being, with the first one we opened with, about you being in a traditional marriage, but you let your husband have sex with other people. Not super shocking here. We're in Las Vegas.
No, of course
it's
not.
Very, very, very common here. This is somewhat in Los Angeles, too. The number of monogamish relationships that I've seen come out recently, men wanting to watch their wives have sex with other men, men with multiple women, swinger. I had a friend of mine just come back from Jamaica, a swingers resort, and like the story she's like just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
But there's no off switch. Like there was no maybe I'm gonna have sex with you and not you. It was everyone was yes, and I was like, I can't even. My brain can't wrap around the idea of me. Like even someone I'm casually dating, watching them have sex with someone else, I can't even fathom that. That's so outside of my reality, right?
And for me, I don't understand that because I'm picky. I'm super picky about the guys that I find attractive.
So I mean, here's the thing, right? You bring other women in, but you guys aren't swingers, right?
No.
So like there's different lines, and they're very delineated from each other.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know swingers that share.
Yeah.
Like wife swap, whatever.
By the way, I'm not saying that when I'm 57, and I've been with the same woman for 8 or 9 or 10 years, that I wouldn't maybe then be open to it, but today, no, I just don't. I couldn't see myself.
Are you against her being with somebody, or
yes.
Okay?
Yeah, like I usually, like the last few girls that I've dated seriously, they're into women, so we would always be with women.
Okay,
But they were slightly more into women than men, so it was like never something where I like had to push it. It was a situation.
I mean, if I went to my husband and said, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I want to be with this guy. Whatever. It's just sexual. Whatever." He wouldn't say no. He wouldn't be comfortable with it.
Right.
But since he's done it so much,
right.
He was like, if I knew this is what you really, really wanted,
Right.
I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable with it, but I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
But I'm very picky. So the problem with me is like, if I do have sex with another man, I want that guy.
Yeah.
So I just don't go there because I know it's game over.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm a woman and I have a little bit more.
Of course.
I don't combine sex with love, but sex kind of with feelings, because if I go so far to have sex with another dude, I like that dude because we established a relationship, we talked, and now I find him sexually attractive.
Yeah.
And when you start talking, it's like borderline you're leading into a relationship.
So let's talk about this. Also, another study that came from the book "When Men Behave Badly" by Dr. David Buss. Actually, this was in a previous book. I think this might have been in Evolutionary of Desire. He talks about when men would cheat on their wives. They asked men who cheated and didn't cheat about the satisfaction of the marriage, and they found the same numbers. Men who cheated said they were just as happy in their marriage as men who did not cheat. With women, when women cheated, their satisfaction in the marriage was significantly less. Men would cheat women would cheat in order to end a marriage. Men would not cheat in order to end a marriage. They had no intention of doing that whatsoever. So it is interesting. That's why, I'm going to have Andrew Tate on here, Cobra Tate, super controversial dude. And he absolutely thinks, yes, it's totally fine for men to cheat. It is not acceptable for women to cheat. He's very open about that.
And I would kind of agree with him because I'm just, basing it on my own feelings.
Yeah.
And if I start talking to a guy, like for me to have a sexual relationship with a dude, I actually have to know him, talk to him, and be sexually interested in him, but on a personal level. So when you come to that, you might as well leave your marriage because you're leading into another relationship.
That makes sense, yeah.
And it's going to be an affair because it's not going to happen once. Because when a woman is that into a dude, he'll be like, and especially if he's into you as well.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people don't realize when Will Smith met Jada Pinkett, he was married. He cheated on his wife to be with Jada.
Jada was the one. So
yeah, I mean,
he smacked Chris Rock over the face for it.
We went into that on one of my other shows. We talked about, Chris Rock actually was abused, or he was bullied severely as a child, which is why he actually took a brick, hit some kid in the head, and almost killed him. And that's the reason why they were saying he put his hands behind his back when Will came to hit him. He's like, he's just not a purveyor of violence.
Thank God Will didn't have a rock with him.
Right. And Will watched his father beat the shit out of his mother when he was 9, couldn't save, and he's felt this incredible guilt. He talks about it in his book. He's felt this incredible guilt. Yeah. And now in his way, the mother of his children, who's Jada, he looks at her and he sees her being attacked, and now he's having a flashback.
I mean, to be honest, that whole thing was probably staged.
You think? I don't think it was staged.
They were both laughing when he slapped him.
I think they were laughing for different reasons.
Oh, okay.
I think Chris is laughing because, damn, dude, you just embarrassed the shit out of yourself. And Will is laughing because, damn, I just showed everybody I defend my wife who abuses me. I think she psychologically abuses him. I think Jay absolutely does.
I don't know why people were so upset about that slap, because I was like, that was the best thing that could happen for the Oscars. I'm just
That's exactly
saying,
right,
that was
man.
The best thing.
That's exactly right.
Like Will and Rock, you saved the Oscars right there and then.
Fantastic. So other things you did, I saw that you were on No Jumper. You did one topless. You've been on there twice?
Once.
So you part of the time you weren't topless. Part of what was the decision? Dude, Talia Paris was going to come on here, and I was joking with her. I was like, I thought you were going to come on here topless, and she was like, I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
So what made you do that?
No Jumper?
Yeah. Did they reach out to you? You reach out to them? How did that work out?
So when I was with Fearless, the girls were actually supposed to go on No Jumper, but then I left Fearless and I got my big Instagram account back, and I was like, what the hell? I'll just reach out to them. Yeah. And I did, and they were like, yeah, sure, come on.
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
I did that.
They're in what city are they in?
They're in
Miami or Los Angeles? They're in LA?
Yeah.
Okay. You did that, and then what was that experience like?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Adam is a sweet guy, and Josh from No Jumper as well. The whole crew is very, very nice. Yeah. And they're very professional about it. Like they're like this. But yeah, they like the wild stuff, and that is totally understandable.
Yeah, I can't do what they do. I remember when I started this podcast, it was like I just remember thinking like I'm gonna have a lot of girls from OnlyFans on here, like probably every other episode. Yeah. And I was just like, I can't ask those questions. Like something in me, but they can, and they're really good at it, right?
I think Adam asks the questions in a way where it doesn't seem to be weird. Right. It's just like you're sitting and talking to a pal. Like you don't think about, oh wow, what did he just ask? Because he's so good at the questions. Yeah. You just answer him. Mm-hmm. You just don't think about it. You're just like, oh. And I think the whole vibe in there is so laid back and so chill, you just don't feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really interesting, like, because he's an adult performer also, and he has a podcast.
Yeah, with Lena,
where he talks about that. They blew up, and some of the stuff they talked about was crazy. I still quote that one, was the one girl with the Phoenix Suns, talking about, I suck their dicks. You know what I'm talking about?
All of them.
All of them. He goes, they came in. And she looks to the right and left, she goes, I suck their dicks. She leans to the back, I suck their dick. And it was nice. And it was the best clip I've ever seen.
Was it Kasumi?
No, it was before Kasumi. Kasumi was the one talking about she did a gangbang with 50 guys at once.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that, the thing is, man, that stuff catches your attention. I get it. I totally get it. But they lost two, I think they've lost 2 YouTube accounts. They've gone to Patreon because of that. And like the other thing is, I still want to have physicists on here, right? I got a flat Earth debate. Shout out to the flat Earthers. I'm coming back after you.
I mean, it is an interesting podcast. Yeah. It's like it's sex and sports, basically, and a little bit in between. But
I'm a fan. I just can't do that.
Yeah. I'm a fan too. But some things I just can't talk about either. Yeah. I mean, it's just like I can't say that. I wish I could, but I can't.
Do you ever listen to Kevin Samuels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you agree with a lot of stuff he has to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Somewhat.
With the traditional wife stuff. That's where I was coming from.
Yeah. But I know people are like, how, you're not a traditional wife, like what? But I still do all the things. I cook, I clean, I take care of my man, I do all the traditional stuff.
I think there's a belief that polygamy didn't exist in the past. Of course it does. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I think the traditional, the only thing that you're doing that's not traditional is that it's more out in the open.
Yeah.
Right.
And take polygamy. Prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. So being monogamous, like polygamy has existed because people went to prostitutes. And I know people had like lovers, and dudes would have lovers and wives and the whole shebang, but everything was behind closed doors. So I think we didn't talk about it.
There's a misconception that monogamy is I asked the question to all the people on the show. I don't have to ask you because I know the answer. This belief that monogamy is the natural state for Homo sapiens. And it's not.
It's not.
And the problem is this, like, a lot of people think that the world is always like it was, right? So they're measuring 12 years of Facebook versus 3 million years of hominid evolution, right? And then go back to Australopithecus, they were probably acting the same way. Yeah. So when you look at that, and then you're just like, well, why is it that men act this way and women act this way? They think the natural state is marriage and children. What they don't understand is that was started when during the agricultural revolution. Yeah. The whole purpose of marriage was not to find your soulmate and your true love. It was because this group of Sumerians that were rich saw this family of Sumerians that were rich, and they wanted to maintain their wealth, so they combined their wealth together through a marriage.
Still, there wasn't monogamy.
Yeah, it was probably then it wasn't, but monogamy wasn't necessarily a part of it. And then we go all the way to Romeo and Juliet, the Capulets and the Montagues, right? Yes. The whole point of that was that those families were arranging marriages, and Romeo and Juliet wanted to go be with each other in spite of what their parents wanted.
Exactly.
A lot of people think that that play as a love story. It's not. It's a dark comedy.
It is.
And the comedy was trying to tell you you're a fucking idiot for killing yourself.
Check her pulse before you drink the poison,
before
man.
you drink the poison. But the point, William Shakespeare's point wasn't go for true love. William Shakespeare's point was not that. It was that the idea of us choosing who we're with is only something that's happened maybe since the 1850s. It's not that old. And people think, and so what's come with that is consumerism, Disney's view of fairy princesses, Prince Charming coming, being the high performer, the high money earner. That's the one you marry. You stay with him forever, and then you buy this car.
That's why a lot of girls in LA are princesses.
Yeah. Right. But society needs you to buy that car, buy that house, get a mortgage. Now you're in debt. Now you have the 2 kids, and it's really hard to start a revolution when you got 2 fucking kids and a mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes it very hard. A very controllable population now that is consuming, constantly consuming to continue to push the push the society forward. You're constantly using that in order to maintain the money flow, all these kind of things, and you maintain power over a society that owes you money, that's in debt to you constantly.
And we have to remember, we're still animals. Deep down inside, we're still animals. Is there any animals that are monogamous?
Okay, so this is a great. Let's get to the actual answer to that. There are 5,000 species of mammals on this planet. 3% of those 5,000 species of mammals have something called pair bonding. What we would consider marriage or long-term relationships would be pair bonding. 97% of mammals do not have pair bonding.
Exactly.
A bonobo sees another bonobo, has sex with that bonobo, then goes has sex with the next bonobo.
Yeah.
The same thing with most other animals. That's the way it works. This whole thing, there are a few, albatross, there's a few types of...
doves, I know doves.
Yeah, there's a few that mate for a certain period of time. Yeah. Remember the whole story about the penguin bringing the other penguin the rock?
Yeah.
They are together for 1 year. Then they go send the rock to another woman.
Do they keep the rock?
No.
Or do they get another rock?
The whole pebble, it's another pebble. The whole pebble thing, it's a farce. It's not true. The penguins are only together. Sorry to break everyone's heart.
It's only a year.
It's only 1 year. That's about all you get. So that's fantastic.
So,
all right.
But thank God that he gets a different pebble for the other woman at least.
Exactly.
At least he has,
All right, so 2 things I want to ask you. First is secret for a happy marriage. I love your ideas for this. Obviously, we're not gonna change anybody's mind. And I know some women who are completely. There's no way I'm fucking someone with my man. It's just never gonna happen. Nothing you can say is gonna change that. I don't find other women attractive. On the spectrum, there is 0. There's just 100% men, 0%. We're not gonna change that.
No, of course
not.
not.
What are the things that you could do? You say would bring a happy marriage?
First of all, I would have to say you have to understand that you're male and female. You're different.
Yeah.
Just like biology, it's different. So what a female has to understand, sex for men is different than for women. Men don't love with their penis. They want to put their penis inside of another woman, and it doesn't mean shit to them. It doesn't mean that you're less of a woman, that you're not the whatever, A guy can have sex with somebody that doesn't even look like you or is remotely the same as you are. It's just because he wanted to. It literally is because he wanted to have sex. It has nothing to do, I love her, I want to be with her, she's now we're going to have my babies. No. I have a penis, I want to put it in that woman. When you understand that, your life will be way easier because the jealousy won't be there. You won't be like, oh, is she better looking? It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with you looking like that or looking whatever. It has nothing to do with it. He just wanted it.
Yeah.
That sometimes you just want a hamburger.
Yeah.
Because you want it. It's,
Or sometimes you just traded another car. It's like exactly.
You just want it.
Yeah.
He doesn't love you less.
Yeah.
That's
hard for a lot of people to understand.
Yeah, and if you don't understand it, you'll struggle. Mm-hmm. Secondly, you have to understand you can't do anything to keep a man from cheating. You can literally be the best wife under the sun and he'll still cheat. And it has nothing to do with you. It just is. It's sad for a lot of women that feel like they're betrayed and this and that. Leave, because he'll cheat. And if I say once a cheater, always a cheater, it is true. But you have to get over it. Either you say, okay, my man loves women. What can I do to not get cheated on or get sad? 1, I'm not going to be with him because he's a fuckboy. So don't be with him. Or 2, we're going to find a middle ground. Okay, we're going to have an open marriage or polygamy or whatever. So you can have sex with other females. Just, I want to know about it. Maybe not the details, but I want to know about it. I want to know who she is. Use protection. See to that she's clean and whatever. Have that agreement if you don't like women. If you like women, bring them into your bedroom. It will be fun. And you know what? He won't be that interested after a while because it gets old. After a while you go like, I had sex with probably hundreds of women.
That's
now,
where Travis is, right? You're Travis. You're done with the threesomes. Is that what you were telling me before?
Yeah, it's completely done.
You're just tired.
You're done?
I'm on to foursomes.
You're tired of those things now.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Good for you.
Hey, listen. I'm on to sevensomes if somebody brings some Taco Bell. I don't give a shit. As long as somebody brings some Gatorade, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But I think you have to understand as a woman that I think the bottom line is sex is different for men and women. So if you as a woman have sex with a different dude and not for content creating or as a job, you're having an affair.
Yeah.
Because you're now, like, as a woman, you pick men differently to have sex with.
Do you think you can separate if it is content creating?
Yeah.
You can?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so this is like hard for dudes to understand because this is a big.
It's
you
super
understand
easy.
how many women right now they have a boyfriend that they're not going to film with, and they're like, I got to make money on OF, and we'll go film with some other dude, and the dude is devastated.
C2 to film with professional porn stars.
Yeah,
because they won't fall in love with you.
Yeah,
trust me.
Yeah, but the dude you're dating is not going to be happy. It's like,
take him with. What's the problem?
Yeah, I don't. There's a big problem. Like most dudes are not going to be like, well, I'm dating this incredible girl who's on OF, and she happens to be super attractive, and she happens to be on OnlyFans, and she wants to film with some other dude other than me, and it makes it better because he's a porn star. That doesn't make things better. Take
out your whatever.
Yeah.
And make money.
Yeah.
Or let her make money.
Yeah.
It's either or. You can't have the cake and eat it, boy.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But what you can do as a woman, if you want to film with guys, have a male performer. You'll sign papers.
Yeah.
It's really very not sexual at all. He won't be loving on you, kissing on you. It's in and out and you're done.
Yeah.
Scene, finished.
Yeah, I think that's actually harder for men to deal with. We talk about
I totally understand it, but I'm just saying it's either or. I know a lot of girls that film with professional porn stars and they have a boyfriend and it's whatever, Man,
that's a whole. We got to do another podcast on that. That part is crazy to me.
And I understand as a guy you feel insecure because one, it's a male porn star.
It's not that you don't just feel insecure. You just don't feel special. Like this is a relate. You know what I'm saying? It would just be kind of hard.
Yeah. I mean,
let me explain to you what I'm saying. It would be easier if the other dude you slept with, you had feelings for. The fact that you're sleeping with some dude and he just gets it for free actually makes it worse.
Yeah, and
it
I
actually makes
understand
it like if my girl was telling me I had an affair with my ex from high school and I fleshed out the feelings and I don't have the feelings anymore and I'm not in love with him and I'm moving on versus I gave some dude a blowjob at a party. The second one is worse. It's actually, I know it's hard for women to understand. The second one is way fucking worse.
For women, it's the other way around.
Yeah, I know. For the women, it's the other way around.
It's the affair.
Yeah. Okay, so we got to get out of here. Okay. I am so excited you came out here. I definitely want you to come back out here again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
When you come out here again, I'd like to have you on as a co-host with some of the other girls.
That would be awesome.
Yes,
I would love to.
I'd love to.
Whoever.
You pick maybe you and CJ or something like that. We'll have you. Yeah, come on. Somebody else that you're a big fan of, we'll have you out here with. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about this, man. I've just, word of mouth is always going to be the best. Thank you for the growth on Apple. I'm closing on 50,000 downloads on Apple and Spotify. Like that part is just mind blowing to me. Thank you so much for all the growth. Once again, guys, if you're interested, because I get this question often, it's like, Michael, how do you get the guests that you get? Well, if you're interested in the way that I do my networking, if you want to learn about social networking, social media, you want to learn about evolutionary psychology, you want to learn about leadership, entrepreneurship, you want to learn about a winning mindset or critical thinking, please check out in the description the Men of Action mentoring course, MOA mentoring course that I teach right now. It's a master's course. It's about 350 hours long. You don't have to watch all 350 hours, but I teach it. It is a master course and a master's course. If you guys are really serious about changing your life when it comes to everything from networking to dating, relationships, or just getting a new job, or just getting over your fear of public speaking, please check that out. Please check her out on social media. What's your TikTok? Is it the same?
Yes. Well, it's Swedish Fox 83. That's my
Swedish
TikTok.
Fox for TikTok. You have a Twitter?
My Twitter is Bella Swedish.
Okay.
And my Instagram is Swedish Bella.
So there's an underscore.
Yes.
Swedish underscore Bella.
Yes.
And then on OF.
And my OF is Miss_Swedish_Bella.
Okay. Got
Yes.
it. You guys are going to follow all of those things right now. And what
Thank
I
you
really
so
want
much.
you to do is when you're paying for that new video that she's doing, to make sure to write her and say, I found you on the Michael Sartain
Yes,
podcast.
please do that.
Tell her that you found her on the Michael Sartain
Yeah.
podcast, especially if you're one of her former elementary school students
Yeah,
or
and
high school students.
I will screenshot it and send it to Michael.
I will be the happiest person in the entire world. Guys, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
There's so many great TikTok clips that are coming out of this one, guys. We will see you all next week.
Bye. Thank you.